Welcome back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, and we'll be hopping into our second match of the day. The Washington Justice versus the Houston Outlaws will be coming at you next. My name is Simon, with me is Hex. We'll be casting the action, and well, Hex, might as well just jump right into it. I mean, the Washington Justice, they've been on a tear.
They've been crushing, and in what would be kind of in Matt Morello's immortal words, an El Clasico, if you were, as both these teams are out of the playoffs.
You're going to say dumb lit. It's dumb lit, fam.
No, I'm not cool enough to say that. But Washington is looking really good, looking towards the future. Houston trying to build some blocks for next year as well. But this Washington team is realistic that they go 7-0 today. You know, I think that might be a little preemptive against the Outlaws there with the W there. This is their stage 4 schedule. They got the Rain coming up and the Eternal coming up as well. So Atlanta should be giving them a little bit of a test. The Eternal have shown some fight against Philadelphia recently, so they're not walkovers necessarily. But this Justice team has really been happy with the 2-2 meta.
That's where they've bloomed. They've been like a flower, Hex, full of sunlight, plenty of water, plenty of damage, and just like that, you know, just taking over. They're so beautiful.
There are blossoms now in the game. They happen to be made of death, apparently, but it still does. The metaphor tracks, is what I'm saying. But yeah, this Washington team has looked really, really good, and I previewed it on the pregame show this year, but they have a lot of pieces in place to look forward to next year as well, and that's what they're building towards.
It's kind of the theme that we're following, but the man who's really stood out for this team and really excelled in this meta, we get to talk about damage dealers again and guys who actually get the job done. Corey. Corey's been looking fantastic so far for the Washington Justice in stage. You remember these picks from Corey? Oh boy, Corey's been a beast.
Corey is in the house! Corey is in the house!
Oh, you know we had to do it to you.
He's crushing, bro.
Oh, that's so nasty.
Scrub scribe.
I miss those videos. They used to be unironic.
Yeah.
Now they're ironic, so it's even funnier. I love those kind of I believe it was MLG style videos.
Exactly, way back in the day,
Yeah,
red versus blue.
air horn.
Throw it back in. You know, you got the Doritos flying. But, you know, as far as the performance is concerned, Corey, he's just taken the entire stage by storm. He looks absolutely dominant. He's been posting some of the strongest numbers in the league.
Right.
And that's so important for the Washington Justice.
Right.
They have a player that they can rally behind.
Well, Houston used to have a player they could rally behind, and the big question we asked yesterday, because we cast Houston yesterday, is where's Jake been? He's been the face of this league. He's kind of the poster boy, and I think we had the right to ask the question. But Jake also posted that he's been having some personal reasons that he'd rather not talk about for now. Roster issues are private as a rule. Well, I don't agree with that. But anyway, that's where Jake has been. He explains it as well. And the reason we were so adamant about this is because the Houston win rate with Jake is so much different than the one without Jake. Their win percentage is much better. And also, it's just, when he's on that team, you can rotate in Dante, then you have Jake and Dante, and you can rotate in Linkser, and you have Jake and Linkser. But you know, Dante and Linkser together have a pretty abysmal win rate when they're only the DPS on there. And also, Jake is that vocal leader. That's what he's been all year, even going back to last season. He was the leader of that team, and that's why we were so questioning it. But obviously, he's taken some time away from the squad, so Houston's going to have to, you know, find something else to rally around.
We just need to make it perfectly clear there. I saw Jake trying to be like, oh, don't blame our friends, don't blame my friends, my teammates, you're doing a job. Nobody's blaming them, Jake. Everybody's asking where you're at. I'm not asking where Linkser is.
No, I mean,
Dante.
no, the thing is, like, as an organization, usually you get out in front of it and be like, well, Jake's not going to be here, he has other stuff. So then we're left in the loop to say, hey, what's happening? We have questions. Your fans have questions. That's why we're so adamant about it yesterday.
To which we would love answers. But some answers that we'll get today. Who's going to win? Who's going to get the W? We're going to get the first team out onto the stage now, the Washington Justice.
One half of the amazing damage duo coming out, of course, followed up by Stratus in the shades and the feathered beautiful hair, making it work for him in 2019. The rest of the squad, of course, no slouches themselves. This Justice team has put together one heck of a stage 4 after what you could say is definitely an abysmal and underperforming season.
Yes.
But what I respect about Washington is they recognize that we're not performing well. Our fans deserve better. Let's make changes. Let's bring Arc. Let's bring Sleepy. They've signed tanks that were going to show up for them next year. So they've made changes organizationally, and that's something I think you have to admire.
Yeah, exactly. They're not stagnating. They are trying to make moves. And like I said, I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on this guy because I think he is the hard carry for the team right now, Corey. So all eyes on him. Going to be excited to see what he's capable of. But now we're going to get their opponents out on the stage, the Houston Outlaws.
still fan favorites. They always still have fans here in the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, trying to put on a performance for them. Look, you're not playing for the playoffs, you're not playing for much here, but you got to play for pride, play for your fans, play for the community that you built around the iconic Outlaws brand.
That's exactly right. These guys should know all about it. They're trying to make the whistle hex. As soon as they get on that stage, that's what they should be aiming for. If you are a competitor, you're always going for the win. And as soon as you stop doing that, just get off the stage. We don't need you. So Linkser, Dante, these are the guys that we're going to keep an eye on. We put a lot of emphasis on Corey on the other side for Washington Justice in terms of the damage dealer, in terms of the hard carry. Linkser and Dante, they're going to have to try and shut him down.
They were driving the struggle bus yesterday. Yeah. They had games where they absolutely disappeared, just no final blows. And in this meta where you're having 2 damage dealers, you need those final blows. And look, we've seen Linkser at the peak of his game. This is a guy I've followed his career for about 3.5 years now. And he used to have dominant performances, but also he's always had the kind of idea of sometimes the question is, where's Linkser? Even when he's on the stage, where's Linkser? Because he has the disappearing act. But this is a 2018 season ranks. And look at these Widow numbers. Second, first, second, team win rate, whatever. But just as an individual, he had carry performances, and he still has it in him. It's just a matter of can he get it out of him? Because he's gonna have to step up. Because Corey has been consistently good on every damage dealer.
Consistently good across the board is Corey. And well, the thing with Corey is that he's posting those kinds of numbers and his team is winning off the back of those numbers. And we've still seen that it's so hard to get that individual level performance. It's going to hard carry. And let's take a look at our map set here presented by Toyota. Legion ain't going to be kicking off. But, I mean, we even saw that yesterday with Scion Player. You still have those situations where an individual player, he will go bonkers. You need the rest of the team to follow. It seems like the Washington Justice are capable of doing that with Corey. Yeah. You lead the way. We're right behind you. Right. We're getting the job done. Houston Outlaws, they don't quite have that cohesiveness.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you never skip leg day. Carrying 5 players almost impossible for you here. But we're going to kick it off on Lijiang Tower, one of my favorite maps, and we shall see what the Houston Outlaws decide to run compositionally. We have seen a bit of Pharah on this map. That used to be Jake's role on this squad, and it does seem right now, out the gates, that the Houston Outlaws, your team in green, wants to run Linkser in the sky on the Pharah. They're going to run a Doomfist on the ground. Linkser, this guy would be interesting here because the support line is not necessarily there. Last second change from Boink after the Lucio boost.
Yep.
On the Washington side of things, it has become a rather standard metagame here of a Reaper and Mei on your damage dealers.
Straight onto the point as well. So they don't really have an answer apart from Stratus and Samson. Those are going to be the best bets here to deal with. Like, so Corey just got blown up there by Dante. That was way too close.
Super quick reaction, so to Wraith out of that, not get finished off, so still 66 on the point as we go forward. Linkser trying to rein in damage, is going to rotate to window side. Gonna put some rockets in, and he does just that.
I'm curious to see how this pans out for Linkser. Apparently he's only ever had 10 minutes on Pharah, and he's already off to a great start. 2 kills for him, giving his team the edge here in this fight.
They should be able to resurrect this as well. Boink does go down, going for the resurrection. Boink dies. Houston's still in a good spot, though, to sustain on the point.
Oh, Dante really trying, and he's going to set it up. Yep, smash against the wall, bonus damage, and Dante just running him up. This is the fun thing, where Linkser, we're not used to seeing him on Pharah. He doesn't have that much time on Pharah, so he's going to get to cut loose, no pressure, have fun, do some damage. Dante, same thing. We get to see him on the Fist. It's a hero that he gets to cut loose with and just look to blow people up with. Could be a lot of fun here for the Houston Outlaws. Some
switches in composition. Corey's going to go to Widow to try to deal with the opposing Pharah. An interesting note, though, is that Giannis switched off of the Orisa during that fight to try to get back his Wrecking Ball. Now back onto the Orisa, but he has 0 ultimate charge, but Muma already has Supercharger on the other side on that same hero.
Oh, and thank you for letting us know that your ultimate is charging, Diva. We get it. Hey, please stop.
You do not like Diva.
I hate Diva. All right, getting into it. Bongos are down, bonus damage as well, and Dante boosted, just taking less damage overall. Trying to keep it high, he's gonna come right over the top. Corey! I love Doomfist plays on this map.
Awesome tech, goes into the sky, surfs off the building, uses the seismic slam to pick up the kill on an unsuspecting Corey. And just like that, we're 55 and counting up for the Houston Outlaws.
Let's see it. First control and carrying. And Dante, he's putting himself in a position now to flank. Perhaps knock him off the bridge. Maybe get a freebie here if they try and rotate around to his side of the map. He's waiting on it. He's got the audio. He can hear the footsteps through the walls. And the rest of his team are going to be forcing him, putting the pressure on. Corey with the headshot on Dante, though. All of that time committed to the flank, and they get 0 out of it.
Well, it means now you don't really have to watch your flanks and sides just as much because Dante was giving him the pressure there. The self-destruct gets point.
Oh, and Lynx are trying to turn it around. Stratus there as well, though, with the barrage. Both of them getting worked on, and it is going to be Washington Justice flipping the point. 85% is where it stops for the Houston Outlaws.
It's so important to get that kill on a Doomfist, too, because he's been lurking on the flanks, and that makes the rest of your team have to always be on guard. That puts Stratus in a weird position of looking behind him to dump rockets and behind to protect his supports. Everybody has to play with eyes in the back of their head, so once that pick goes on, you can find another objective and focus it as a team. Washington able to pick up that fight and put some percentage on the board.
Saw a little bit of a shaky start here, but Washington seems to be figuring it out. Now Corey's going to go for the empty site. They'll get the see-through walls here on his team. Did he get the knock? No, not quite, but Boink dies at the hands of Corey. So we lose the Lucio here for Houston Outlaws. Laser's gone for a change as well. He's got that Tracer in play now, the Overwatch League logo. And we've actually got wholesale changes here because Dante, no longer on the fist, he's got the Sombra.
I think it's the right time to change if you're Houston so that Dante can get an EMP up. We know how impactful that ultimate can be. Shutting down every other hero's abilities seems to work out just fine. Also just get picks in the back line.
You get a hack, you get a dead mercy. That's exactly what happens. Guido goes down. Stratus is going to have to be careful because now he's all by his lonesome. Spree knows this, trying to put the maximum amount of pressure on Stratus. Does he find it? No! Stratus, good use of the architecture, able to dodge out of the way. And he is getting support. Spree doing the best he can to hold on to his mech. Not meant to be. He is going to get demeched and destroyed in a moment if there is no support for him.
Well, Houston has gone all in on this strategy. They're losing players on the point, but it's been a brawl. They really just need Dante to get to EMP. That's it. You can even reset right now. You should reset right now.
Was that an attempt? Where did the Linkster pulse go?
Sometimes pulses just disappear in this game. Trust me, I know firsthand. But why they made this switch when they did is because they know right now they're going to have a fight with EMP. Dante at 96%. That's what they're banking on. That's why they made these switches. They need to win one more fight in this percentage battle.
Well, let's see it. As soon as the supports show themselves here, there could be an attempt. Corey, yep, going for the pulse. Does he get it? No, there's the sleep. Corey gone, gets dinked by Linkster. He's out of the fight. Dante with the EMP, only hits 2. Arc is able to get the sound barrier off to keep his teammates up. You're still down a man on the side of Washington, but you evened it out. The Tracers are out of the fight. It's dead even now between both of them. Who comes out ahead? Janet's with the phone. Well, he's going to get the bongos down, so now you're going to get bonus damage here on the side of Washington Justice. If the Justice can withstand the pressure, Guido doing a great job of keeping his team up. They will have that bonus, and that can turn the fight in their favor.
It's getting really scrappy on the point now, but it's green on the left side of the kill feed. The Outlaws picking up kill after kill on the cleanup. 85%. They haven't flipped it over just yet. Will do so right now. Stratus is on the Sombra, will be able to touch the point. This one is not quite over yet, but Houston, make no doubt about it, is in a dominant position.
It's definitely not done. They should be able to touch, they should be able to keep it alive, and Stratus should be able to get that EMP. Stratus, it's all about him staying alive at this point. Him going down here would be disastrous, but he does get the overtime touch. Boink removes Janus as well, so we lose the main tank here for the Washington Justice. Linkster's got that pulse coming online as well. He could be looking for those squishies on the side. Spots out Guido, so he's going to be a real threat to Guido. Yep, just hoping for it. Hey, chucks it in there. EMP thrown in as well, but nobody dying on the side of the Houston Outlaws. Instead, it's all the Houston Outlaws finding the kills. Washington Justice brought it to 99%, but it looks like that's where it ends. First point goes the way of the Houston Outlaws.
Linkster got some cleanup late, but I believe that round belongs firmly in Boink's hands. He got clutch barriers. He was getting environmental kills when they needed it. The sound barrier was absolutely huge for them post-EMP. They got that one off. Very nice play from the Lucio player for the Houston Outlaws. You know, I love that zoning pulse bomb. That literally was a zoning pulse bomb from Linkster. You toss it on the bridge, he has nowhere to go. Then you can double blink to the other side, and now you're just forcing him in. Do you want the bomb or do you want me? Either way, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's just all that matters is how it shows up in the kill feed. We know this is over already.
Tough break, but right to the end. 99-99. That's exactly the way we want it here. Scrappy game to kick things off for us in this Hex. It's our first match today. So, Washington Justice now on the back foot, 0-1. Houston Outlaws, this is a best of 3 King of the Hill. Have to think of it that way. You get control of the point, you hold on to it. First team to get 2 points will take the map. So Houston Outlaws right now in the lead, 1-0.
Mirrored compositions here on the control center of Lijiang Tower. Giannis gets very low. Giannis has died first in a lot of these engagements. It hasn't looked great. shades of old Washington Justice when that was a big issue for them.
Oh, look at that, the difference though. He's not getting those kills. That's allowing Guido and Arc to just do massive amounts of healing. They're way ahead in terms of ultimates. This might mean that Guido has his Coalescence far ahead of Raucus, and he might even just smash it right now.
I mean, it's not really far ahead when you're facing another. Raucus actually hits it first.
Yeah, he decides to pull the trigger first. There was that opportunity perhaps. Instead, it's going to be Guido, slightly behind, slightly delayed on Raucus, might be making the difference, but Stratus still dies at the hands of Linkser. Linkser's been playing phenomenally so far on this Reaper.
This is what we needed to see from Houston to step it up. A later barrier from Boink as well means they're going to have huge shield advantage.
Oh, they're starting to cave here. 2 kills for the Houston Outlaws. First control for Washington Justice, but it looks like the first fight will be won by the Houston Outlaws, and they will flip the point, 24-25.
You see that a lot in Overwatch, that teams will give up position, or they will give up percentage so that they can come back fighting on their terms when they want to. So the first fight, the first control went over without really a kill, but Houston gave it up knowing that they can come back strong and take the next fight. Madness in the corridor right now, and Raucus goes down somehow.
Yeah, that was awkward. Oh, and a double! Sam manages to blow him up. Spree gets a parting shot on Dennis, but it's still a 1 fight for the Washington Justice, and they're going to flip it.
Well, that ends up being very bad in this situation because Dante just used Blizzard, and Blizzard, especially on control maps, is everything. Because it covers such a wide area of ground, you can drop it in the middle and just deny the other team from doing anything. Also, it's the closest thing we have in this kind of composition to a win the fight fight. It usually wins you the fight. Your win rate goes through the roof when you're able to use Blizzard. So Stratus holding on to his ultimate ability, whereas Dante used his to no effect in a losing fight.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit ahead there, but now Stratus, he's holding on to it, and he's still looking for it as well. As soon as the Houston Outlaws decide to push through here, he has to be careful that he doesn't feed it to Spree. Spree doing a good job of sticking with his team. Spree's going to be trying to keep tabs on where Stratus is playing from to try and deny the Blizzard. But again, Genesis goes down. Early in this fight, that's not helping things here for the Washington Justice.
Yeah, he's got 9 deaths so far in the map, leading the server, and he's died in all different kinds of heroes. The Blizzard comes out, they freeze a couple, the cleanup is not quite enough there.
Unbelievable. Spree survives it. Where is Corey? Getting kept away by the Death Blossom on Linkser, and there is going to be a flip coming in here for the Houston Outlaws. We have a last-second attempt at a contestant. This might be enough, although we do have Raucus with the Coalescence. Lighthouse is beaming. Guido is there to try and balance it out, though. Good heals going on to Dennis.
Dante's coming back with Blizzard. He'll probably just chuck it from the stairs.
Do we get it either? No.
Chucks it in.
Oh, Sansam was looking for it. He nearly found it as well. That was Pixel off.
Doesn't get anything anyway. Meanwhile, the entire time, Washington's had control of this point.
Oh, and there we go. Perhaps the advantage of Washington Justice will pay, maybe it pays off for them. They're at 99%. They need to win 1 fight, and that's going to be it. Houston Outlaws, they're down 2 right now. Looking a bit grim for him as the kill feed shows a whole lot of Washington Justice. The Maywall goes up, and that's going to be it. They're not going to touch in time. We're tied up 1-1. The Washington Justice fighting back.
I will give Giannis some credit there, even though he's died early. When he was coming back, he used the Orisa ranged shield to great effect. He was a while away, launched it in before he was anywhere near the point. It dropped down, his team was able to take shelter behind it, never give up control of the point. And again, it's one of the issues that we had a little bit with Houston yesterday. Dante playing a little too aggressive on the Mei. On that point in particular of Lijiang Tower, he was out of the fight the majority of the time. His Blizzards weren't getting the value that they needed. There were 2 Blizzards to use. I don't think he got any Blizzard kills off of it. So that needs to be cleaned up. But we might not even see Dante on Mei here because we're going to Night Market. And this is a place that you see a lot of Doomfist because you're fighting in this closed house, and Doomfist does a lot of damage when he hits people, does more damage when he hits them into walls.
And I'm happy with that because we're starting to see the Houston Outlaws, 2 guys that we put a lot of focus on.
The Washington strat. We have the Washington strat. Symmetra on the field.
All right, let's see it. Turrets and Sim got the teleport as well. So you take a lot of damage if you get hit by that orb.
It's also great to crack shields here. Symmetra's primary fire will charge up on shields and crack them very quickly. Meanwhile, Dante doing what we expected, going nuts with the Doomfist.
Triple from Dante already. Stays alive as well. Unbelievable. He survives it after doing so much damage to the Washington Justice. Single-handed carry. And that plays into the point that I was looking for, which is that Dante and Linkser are both showing up for this match this morning. 10 kills for Dante. Linkzer's got 13. This is a total reversal from yesterday where we saw them sitting at 1-0, just not getting the impact at all.
Forgoes the big, easy target of the D.Va to take a harder target to hit. No hiding in the corner as Dante puts it down. And the Symmetra Jet should be good against that because they're running a Brigitte with it too. The Symmetra turret's slow, but Dante! Again! There's no one checking corners!
He's going for plays, Hex, he's going for plays. Quick reactions there from Janus though. Stops himself from getting slammed into the wall. Stops the potential one shot, but can't say the same. Wow, Dante, he knows he can go that aggressive exactly because he has his ultimate. It's the get out of jail free card. Straight up over the top, and now, oh no! Sansom hunts him.
Yeah, he saw how low HP he was and decided to chase him down, and this is the window that the Washington Justice needs to exploit.
Big plays. Lynx are barely surviving as well, and he gets nailed. Stratus there to punish. You're gonna go for a bold-faced barrage like that in the middle of nowhere? Not going to happen. Stratus drops him, and we may get the flip here for the Washington Justice. They have the advantage in this fight.
Yeah, right now just trying to die on the points to accrue as much percentage as possible of the Houston Outlaws. Muma's there, Spree's there. Now it's just Muma. This is just a stall tactic. That's why everyone's just trying to throw their bodies in there. 70% on the board for the Houston Outlaws in this deciding point of Lijiang Tower.
All right, Stratus is starting to feel it, Hex. He is starting to connect rockets with faces.
We talk a lot about Corey, but Stratus has his own, little video montage out as well, and he's been very good on the Mei especially, but he's shown us a wide range of heroes. The dynamic duo of Washington has been one of the great reasons why they are undefeated so far this stage.
Yeah, right. It's so much fun to watch. Them develop as well, going over through the stages. But we've seen the change now, strategy coming in from the Houston Outlaws. They decided, okay, that's enough, Pharah. Might have the shot. Nope, missing the opportunity. 2 kills coming through here for the Houston Outlaws. Arc and Corey out of it already. Stratus getting boosted. Maybe looking for the barrage. Just decides to chuck it in there. Muma gone, and Stratus making the plays. Muma, Linkzer, Spree, Team Max, they are not out of this yet, Washington.
Well, this Washington team and also the meta overall means that even if you lose a couple players, you have a chance.
Yeah.
You have a chance to get in there and equalize it back up. So Washington decides to recommit to the point. They get the kills that they need there. Another exit blow. They get a resurrection on a Stratus. And now nearing 60% full fighting force. And since the Houston Outlaws have changed heroes, they're a little bit behind it, especially when it comes to these important ultimates, most notably EMP.
That was really nice. Spy checking, they catch Dante. Gonna burn a little bit of time off of his clock, slow down that EMP for him. And eventually Dante will move his way over to the site, and the Washington Justice have taken the lead. Muma drawing attention to the point as well. So he's going to get that, he's going to try to attempt to get the flip. Boink somehow finds Guido. What is that about? Guido keeps dying first here. This is really going to hurt things for Washington Justice. They are counting on his healing to carry them through these fights.
They've got the translocator out now. A little juke from Corey is going to get him back out of this one as Muma dives in.
Yeah, Pulse is online here for Corey as well in just a moment. But there's the EMP over the top, silenced everything. No bongos for you. And this is it, the fight to end all fights. Washington Justice at 99%. Houston are going to flip it. And now it's going to be on the Washington Justice to get in here and win.
It won't end all fights, but the next one should be our last one. With Washington at 99, by the time the next fight comes, it'll very likely be 80 plus for the Houston Outlaws. Let's take stock of what they have. A pulse bomb attempt at an aggressive Houston team that comes in, unable to connect. Houston hits full retreat button, has to bail out of this one. Arp gets off of the Lucio, a late switch from Stratus, who gets out of the Lucio. Stratus goes to the Sombra. This one's all execution. Nano Monkey
in there looking for that primal. He may be able to just overwhelm Raucus immediately. Does so much damage when he's boosted, and there's the kill. Raucus out of it, but traded. Stratus is gone. Low chance of him getting that EMP for this final fight anyway, but Linkzer and Dante coming up the goods with that right now for the Houston Outlaws. And this may be the fight that they've all been waiting for. The silence as well. Sansom can't even get a fresh smack. Guido comes back in, finds a delayed kill. But this is all about just trying to just come up with the plays individually, because now you got the sound barrier in here. You got to survive, and it's not going to happen. What was that? It looked like Arc managed to get through the window onto the point, but it doesn't register.
Sometimes the vertical box of the point is a little tricky one. It's not something you really want to test out in Overwatch, but this is a lot closer than people thought, and Houston Outlaws look like they still have some fight in them.
Yeah, they're looking good here, Houston. A strong start for them, but 99 to both teams, 2-1. It's a close match, Hex. We'll see how it plays out here on the second map right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
There you have them, the Houston Outlaws, managing to squeak the win in the end, Hanks. 2-1 on the first map of this series gives them the lead. And so, I mean, we were just discussing this during the break, you and I. It seems like when the Houston Outlaws, they're lacking that pressure. Yesterday they were playing, it was life on the line. Now they lost that, so there's no chance of them making the playoffs, and we're starting to see the team shine.
I mean, just look at this. They look loose, they look happy, and sometimes it's that mindset of nothing left to lose. Like, you just play loose, you can play, you can maybe take some shots that you wouldn't go for. You're not twitchy on stage, you know, there's not all the pressure in the world on you, because now everyone's like, well, we weren't really expecting to win. We don't really necessarily, you know, have to win. The world's not going to end. We're not out of the playoffs because we're already out. And yeah, they just look happier, and I think the play speaks for itself, especially from Linkser and Dante, who actually both had very good rounds.
Yeah, no, they definitely showed, I believe, 16 final blows for Linkser, 14 for Dante, so I'll give it to them. They definitely woke up totally different beast from what we saw yesterday from them. But now we're going to get into a bit more of a structured map. No longer going to be the King of the Hill style fight over the point. Instead, we're looking for some structure in terms of how do they take these points. They're still battling over it. But right now, Houston Outlaws on the offense have to charge onto this point, take control of this one, and then move on to the second point.
Nice anti-heal, but it is, again, Giannis falls first.
He's getting blown up, Hex. Even with the Immortality Field, it's not doing enough for him, and they are just going to get washed out. Washington Justice. I mean, Corey's doing the best he can. He's doing some decent damage, but...
I mean, but if you're a Washington fan, and a diehard Washington fan, which there are several of, seeing Giannis first in the kill feed is making you lose your mind, because that was the issue in Stage 1 and Stage 2. And it's not always Giannis' fault, it's he doesn't have the support. And when he plays too aggressive, then his supports aren't there. And that's why in the third stage, Giannis is always backing up, because he's not trusting his team. So this is an issue that Washington has had before. Not in this meta, but it's got to give them a little bit of pause at this moment.
No, it's problematic. You can't lose your main tank. Whether it's positioning, whether it's support, whether it's communication even. If they're not on the same page right now, it's costing the Washington Justice, especially on defense. Houston Outlaws are going to take full advantage of it. They know that Linkser's on the low ground here, so a little bit of change. But Corey, he can run up walls. He doesn't care. He's got that mobility. Okay, well, it's on to the first balcony. Now the Dragon straight through, perfectly timed. Closes the door, but can his teammates take advantage of it?
There's an ice block up top, and now they're just going to try to get the hook, but Houston bullies them off the high ground.
Solid work. Arc even committed the window pane there, and Guido with the boost. So they're just using everything on the side of Washington Justice.
There's a nano on the ground, and it's just a glowing pig. He's not really doing much.
Oh, but now the whole hog. We'll buy him a little bit of room here to work with, hoping for the kill, but it's not going to happen. Stratus.
Create the blizzard. Stratus is now dead. Stratus has done absolutely nothing this map so far. The walls haven't been good, the denial has not been good, and now he just threw his ultimate away.
I mean, you still got Corey. That's the power of the Washington Justice. He dies, but he took Puma out, and that's really going to hurt the offense. Without that shield to hide behind, without that Orisa, it might slow things down here for the Houston Outlaws. There's a chance for the Washington Justice to deny the Houston Outlaws any permanent progress on this first point.
Pushing it out. Corey gets Dante, and Dante just chucks in the blizzard. Houston gonna try to fight this 5v6.
Oh, the focus. Oh, the halts. Just a slight mistiming there. Trying to coordinate the ultimates together. Or I want to say an ult for halts. It's an actual ability. But you're going to have Stratus, and they are going to stabilize here on the side of the Washington Justice. What looked like an excellent fight there for the Houston Outlaws results in no permanent progress on that second point.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with Overwatch or Assault maps in general, you take the first point, you take the second point, but the offense, the onus is on them to have a nearly perfect fight on that second attack because your respawn all the way back here, whereas the defense right there, right on the point, so you need to be winning the fight significantly to be able to take progress and eventually take full control of that second point.
It has to be clean. Clean is the key here for Houston Outlaws. So let's see. Dying to Corey, though. That's not going to help things here for the Houston Outlaws. That's Linkser dead already, down a man.
That's
Houston Outlaws shouldn't even
weight.
show themselves. They shouldn't even show themselves, because if they show themselves, they're going to give free ult charge over to Washington Justice, and that's only going to help the defense.
They have to full-on wait right now, and they can't really even retreat, because if they retreat, they're just going to take arrows from Corey here. They're trying to just throw in whatever abilities they can from a safe distance to try to build up ultimates.
Well, there's the Maywall. And the Dragon onto the Orisa. Muma going to be forced up the stairs.
Linkser was flanking on the other side, but they found him.
Yeah, Arc takes him down, and now you're going to get Corey going into the back. He's not going to let him escape. Dante gone. Shot in the back. Stuffed full of arrows. Spree takes down Corey, but Corey did his job, and that is the end of this push for the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, Linkser was trying to be sneaky. He used his teleport on the other side of things to get across that bridge to get over there, but he was spotted right away, and the support duo of the Washington Justice made short work of him. Back to the drawing board, 2.5 minutes left on this Houston offense. No progress yet on the second point of Hanamura.
None whatsoever. So, ice block used there by Dante, just trying to dodge the damage there. Guido's got the boost, though, and Sansom's got the whole hog, so things are still looking up for the Washington Justice. They can still do some serious damage here. But the Houston Outlaws, they're starting to run low on time. 2 minutes 20 on the clock here for Houston. You can keep tabs on that at the top of the screen, but that's what's important here, because the Houston Outlaws, as the offense, they're on the clock. They've got to get the job done here. In pretty much 2 minutes. We're down to 2 minutes nearly here for Houston Outlaws. It has taken their time.
It has been one of the issues with Houston that they're a very good defensive team, but seem to lack the coordination and execution to pull off very strong offenses.
Well, curious. I mean, they're just trying to figure it out. There's one way through. It's up onto the balcony, lads. You got to go to the balcony. I mean, Spree's trying to put some pressure over here. He's going to get defect immediately. That draws the attention, sure. Corey's still got the dragon. He's going to just yeet in there. No problem at all. Spree got the save. T-Matrix there to cover Linkser. Guido gets sniped, but it's still a 1-for-1 trade. We've lost Dante on the side of Houston.
Linkser about to die
Linkser's
as
going to
well.
die too.
And now the barrier committed, the coalescence committed.
This is getting sloppy. This is all over the place now as the Washington Justice are looking pretty solid here on the defense. Minute 25, ultimates used. Muma just gives himself up there.
I guess the silver lining here is that maybe Houston can come in with a blizzard to open it up. But here's always been the issue with Hanamura. It doesn't matter what the meta is, doesn't matter what compositions you're running. There's really only one good way in. And it happens to be that top corridor, top right to your screen right now where you're looking. And the problem is, usually with this map, you have to use 1 or 2 ults just to get in. Just to be able to be in the room to fight again. And now you're behind it, so you need individual play and you need enormous execution or a mistake on the enemy team's part to be able to take Hanamura last. It's one of the most difficult points in all of Overwatch, in my opinion.
Oh, there it is. Lines it up. Corey doing work.
Gotta go home now. Just lost 2. 1 good push left. 30 seconds on the clock. Linkser's gonna go over to Widow. And this is good. Okay, so the plan is probably to maybe go a different direction, maybe try to go in main, and then distract, put a lot of pressure on the point, let Linkser get this high ground up here. And then you have to send resources at Linkser, or you have to worry about the ground. It's a really good position. You see Soldier 76 used in this position a lot, but Linkser a better Widow than he is a 76.
By a country mile, this is where you really want to see Linkser setting up. Uma getting nuked, Dragon thrown in, an awkward one there from Corey. Unfortunately for him, I think the timing was slightly off. Still, we're going to get two coming in here for the Houston Outlaws. They are going to get traded back, though. Ark and Corey doing work. Washington Justice still in this. Giannis is still here to provide the support. Ark is on high as well. Corey still alive. Henry breaking the damage.
Ark just jumps up and takes out Linkser. This one is all over but the crying. And Houston will settle for one single point on Hanamura.
Not smiling so much this time, apart from Boink.
I mean, that was the plan, though, when they moved Linkser. You could see it, that they just rushed the point with their big bodies, let Linkser go up top. Execution wasn't there. Washington responds well.
Yeah, exactly. We end it on a sad note here for Washington, as far as the offense is concerned. No, for Houston. But now we're going to change sides. Washington on the offense, and Houston Outlaws absolutely capable of shutting them down and keeping control of the match.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Stay down.
Get behind the barrier.
Alright, so you got a Zoe frag video. Nice job, Corey. Nice job, little man. But don't forget, I pop off too.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my god! What can this man not do?
Entering the stratosphere.
One of the toughest teams you could face right now. Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my god! The perfect stage!
This guy is an absolute maniac!
I feel it!
He brought the shades with him, Hex. We saw him walk out with him earlier, but he's also bringing the heat in the game because Stratus and Corey, the duo working together, they are dominating.
Enter the stratosphere.
That
Love
was
it.
pretty good.
I love those
Pretty good.
videos. Hopefully we've inspired a whole new generation of creators out there to keep making those videos.
Yes.
So I have
Yes.
something to watch when I get home. It'd be awesome. All right, Washington Justice. A very easy win condition on this map. Take 1 1/3 points and they'll have it. However, the Houston Outlaws, I mentioned, are a very good defensive team. They have full hell teams on first points of several hybrid maps, several assault maps. So not out of the realm of possibility that Houston goes into this 2-0. They're trying to hit shots. Dante gets Corey.
That's what I was waiting for.
And that's a backup immediately.
What's gonna happen here? Is Dante just gonna blow people up with that Pharah? They're trading off on the Pharah too. You had Linkster on Pharah, now you got Linkster on Widow. I'm fine with this though. Let them play to their strengths. Dante, you're playing second fiddle right now to Linkster, who is in a position to hard carry as the Widow.
But I honestly don't think that, I'd have to ask him, but I don't think Dante's really in love with playing the Mei. And a lot of times these players get locked into playing a hero just because the team needs it or it's part of the meta that they're trying, part of the strategy. But he's looked much more comfortable on everything that isn't Mei.
He's not a projectile guy. He's a hit scan player. And that's a dead arc to kick things off. Washington, though, they managed to get onto the point. Guido is still alive as well. And he doesn't waste any time, Guido, going straight for the Coalescence.
Coalescence is one of those ultimates you can just pop right in there. Using the window here, Giannis down, and I think right now Washington's just hoping to get a third to take a progress.
Yeah, they were hoping for a little bit of permanent progress. Every time they get a third, you guys can see around the point, around that A, separated in 3. So as soon as they get that first tick, it's permanent, stays there. Not quite the case this time around, however, for the Washington Justice. So we're down to 2.5 minutes on the clock. Dante finally going to decide it's time to barrage, blows Guido up.
Might as well. A barrage where you get one person and live.
Long, this is where you should, like, right now, in terms of the Washington Justice, they should be calling for a reset. Stop trickling in here. Stop feeding ult charges to the defense. Go back, just die. There you go, Stratus. Good job. Just go back to spawn and respawn as a team. You're wasting time. We're down to 2 minutes on the clock now for Washington.
And this is another time where Giannis makes a switch to Wrecking Ball to try to get back in there, then has to switch back to Orisa. There goes all the ultimate charge. Supercharger is nothing to sneeze at there. It can help you win a fight for sure. It definitely helps you crack shields. Corey switches off of whatever, Reaper onto Tracer, onto Widow, back to Tracer. So just watching the hero selections, definitely some miscommunication going on for Washington.
Yeah, it's questionable. It's questionable, and it's going to hurt them because this is burning time off that clock. Down to 1.5 minutes here for Washington. Dante gets the DMAC on Sansem as well. There's a sleep to boot. That's going to open it up for Sansem to go boom. Sansem, he'll respawn with the mech, and he's not going to take too long to get back into this, but this is still, man, Corey getting caught as well. Houston Outlaws right now, they've got the lockdown on this defense.
It's really great PO by Spree, though. Corey went into the back line to try to deal with Linkster to get him down, but it was Spree back there to eliminate it and turn a 1v1 into a 2v1. Linkster gets the finish.
And once again, Guido with the Coalescence is kind of just getting used. Not the best situation. Arc gets blown up. We've lost Spree for Houston Outlaws. That's going to hurt the defense more.
Yeah, it's not even that big of a deal because Spree can get back in here. He's got boosters. He's going to have movement ability. So it's not a great death, but it's not the worst.
Nice detail there from Sansem trying to push that bomb out in the open. Not quite, though. Do they ever actually get onto the point in any meaningful way here for Washington? 40 seconds on the clock. That's all they got to work with. They need to start getting on that point and setting up some defense here. Dante looking to just blow up one. Yeah. Oh, juked! Well, they tried to go for Corey. It's not happening.
Well, they got pressure on the point, and that's the whole plan here. And now that they've got Spree, or excuse me, Dante completely out of position, it's just going to be Dante and Point trying to come back in here.
It's not happening, Hex. It is not happening. It looks so good, but Stratus finds one. You got 2 over there, Boink and Linkster. Maybe trying to delay it, maybe just trying to die.
That's not going to happen here for Houston. It was just such a great play setup, counter play setup, and then the execution carried out. Because what Washington wanted to do is push everybody on the point and then let your Widow sit behind and click away. That's the entire plan. Houston knew that. They've run that strategy themselves with Linkster, so they send their combo over top to try to deal with it. But then Corey knows that they're going to come over top, so it's 5 different steps in advance. Washington gets the better end of it here, and now only need 33% to win this map.
Indeed they do. Houston Outlaws pushing as a group onto the point itself, trying to hold there. Linkster looking for the shot, but the sound barrier making it so difficult to get a kill. And so now he's going to be on his toes because Corey's hanging out around there. He can see through walls now thanks to Linkster. He's going to be able to line up a shot on Corey. They have to be careful about this, Washington. They know, they're aware of it. Corey under pressure. We've lost Arc as well. But again, hard reset here for Washington. Just
go back
die. And that's exactly what they're doing. This time, they do it. They actually go back to spawn as a unit.
So 2 minutes left to get 33% of progress. Otherwise, we will draw out here. Washington will not lose this map. They've got Blizzard to work with. Corey goes off of the Widowmaker onto the Hanzo, which is the thing of legends, and he beats a man with a sniper rifle with a bow and arrow.
Winning, but he's going to get back into this fast enough on the side of Linkser.
It's a nice kill, but it's too far away. Linkser will be back in this on time, but perhaps
That's
not,
the one.
not in the position he wants to be in.
What is Dante doing peeking there? That's just so greedy. And if he gets hit in the head with an arrow, that's a real problem for his team. Self-destruct catches him out in the open. Dante nowhere to go. A man advantage now for Washington Justice. They need more than this.
You got to press the issue now. You got to get on it.
Some pressure there on Laser. Looking for the shot. Going to get it. Oh, unbelievable. Rocket survives. Unreal. And now Dante's going to die at the hands of Corey. Corey is still running amok back there. Corey just gunning him down. All the arrows. Finally, Spree steps in and has a say. 2 kills for Spree. That's the offense dead here for the Washington Justice, but you still have 4 alive on the point.
Spree just saved this defense. It's time to leave now for Washington and try to get one more fight into it. Corey will have a dragon.
Oh, what excellent delay. Look at this.
Perfect. Perfect delay. They're gonna end up having to fight this 5v6, I think.
Oh no.
The dart.
So good. The halt.
Yep.
Oh, this is so good.
Your poor horse.
Unbelievable. What a stagger. That is perfect from Houston Outlaws. That has just wasted so much time for the Washington Justice.
They have to play this 5v6, and Giannis, he might switch off this and go to Hammond, although he has Supercharger up. If his team thinks they can buy enough time, I mean, it's right on the cusp of staying on it at about 20 seconds. They are going to wait for Giannis to get back, but that means someone's going to have to roll and touch the point.
10 to the second.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Sansom to touch the point here. The dragon opens things up.
I like it. Nice dragon there from Corey. But yeah, they're going to get onto the point. Sansem is going to be there for an instant. Corey with the headshot on Dante. That is no Blizzard alive here to use. That may be costing the Houston Outlaws on the defense here. Corey, once again, wreaking havoc, dealing the damage for the Washington Justice. And is this when it happens here for the Justice? The Houston Outlaws have to keep a presence on the point, but the Washington Justice only need 1 tick.
A really nice wall right there in front of the Immortality field. He eats the Blizzard!
Unbelievable. Sansem with the clutch. He sees it coming from a mile away, knows exactly what Dante's trying to do, counters him, and this could be it for the Washington Justice. A win in overtime. The Houston Outlaws are trailing onto the point 1 at a time, doing the best they can, but now you're going to get a Blizzard thrown in by Stratus. You got nowhere to hide if you're Houston, and we're looking at a tied series, 1-1. Washington Justice fight back on the second map.
Enormous individual plays, and we can talk Corey and Stratus all day, which we have. But let's talk about Sansam there and give him some credit. The self-destruct to open it up takes Dante down once. They get Dante before he gets the Blizzard, so it's telegraphed on the way out. Sansam eats it up, Washington comes through, and we have ourselves a great series. Stick around to see what our halftime crew has to say.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Games are rolling on live here from the Blizzard Arena. Washington, Houston, all tied up after a great finish there on Hanamura. Welcome back, everybody. We are live. It's Sunday, and this is the final day of action in Week 3 of our final stage. I've got Bren, I've got Josh, and we've got two teams that are out of the playoffs, but still putting on a show for the fans.
Yeah, and they're actually having a lot of fun playing. I mean, when we see the cams of the guys up on stage, especially from the Houston Outlaws, they're having a blast, and you can tell just in-game. Everybody's making weird plays, going for the big highlights. It's just awesome to see.
Now, their season isn't over, right? They still have regular season matches to go, and we'll see how that will impact some other teams moving forward. But I want to look at these two teams a little more in depth and maybe think forward of what could happen in 2020. We're going to play a little game. You guys ready?
Okay.
No, but okay.
Production, let's throw it on the backboard here. This is going to be field, bench, or trade, the brand new game from the Overwatch League.
Okay,
and we are going to have our first contestant. Who wants to take Washington? Raise your hand.
Me.
It's Brenji. All right, Bren, you're wearing red. You got the Washington colors. Here are your 3 players to choose from. We've got Jonas, Otto, and Corey. Sorry, it's a lower third. It's a lower third.
Down here.
All right.
Down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Who do you field? Or
Who do I field? All right, no brainer. Corey.
Oh, let's go trade first.
Trade first?
Who do you trade out of these 3? Jonas, Otto, or Corey?
I'm gonna go with Janis. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of him. They already got two new tanks coming in as well, Lulsis and Elevote. So, I mean, yeah. Why do you need Janis? I mean, he hasn't put up a good performance. I'm not gonna lie.
He's been much better in Stage 4.
Because he can't feed. Because it's almost impossible to die on Orisa.
You want different tanks. They're on their way over.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're not going to be trading the other 2, who is it, Otto or Corey? Who are we benching?
Well, who am I benching? It's going to be Addo as well. Or he's going to keep him on the bench, but it's a weird situation, right? Because Addo is actually pretty good. He's probably the one, I think he is the #1 player in terms of the most losses of any player in the league right now. But he's still actually a pretty good player. But it's just weird. He's not going to see playtime because Stratus and Corey are popping off so much.
There you go. So I think that answers our final question. Your field, it's Corey. Why the Corey guy?
No brainer, really. I mean, the guy is phenomenal on the Hanzo, on the Widowmaker. Didn't have so much of a great show when he was playing Zarya, but now he's on his pocket picks. He's turning up.
Josh, be careful, because I understand how this game show works, and I'm ready to crush. You ready to go, Houston?
Yeah, I'm ready for the Houston
Thank you,
fans to
Bren, for
kill
those
me.
Washington picks. Here are our 3. We got Spree, Muma, and
Also,
Dante.
you
Let's
wanna be
start with
careful
the
with it.
trade. You got to send one away.
Okay.
Who do you
I'm not gonna
trade
lie,
for?
a lot of Houston fans here.
There are a lot of Houston fans. Okay, so I would, if I had to pick one of those, I would go with Spree to trade because the guy's been fairly good, but they have a bit of a weird system with their tank line where I feel like if you're going to do a rebuild of this team, you might want to start there and try a different direction for them. Spree's actually been fairly good when he's played in Stage 4. He's been reasonable, but he's not quite at the level of the top of tanks.
Okay, so Spree is going to get traded, so that leaves us with Muma and Dante. Who do you bench?
I would, honestly, I think that coming into 2020, this is a hot take as well, fresh off the press.
Uh-oh, zoom in on this man.
I might be looking for a main tank, like a tank overhaul for the Houston Outlaws and go in a bit of a different direction. Because Muma's a USA World Cup player, right? Actually a pretty good player. But the direction of a team and the way that the whole team is built is so much around a main tank. I would be looking for somebody that's able to play a huge bunch of
You're giving a lot of non-answers here.
heroes.
You actually haven't said the player's name.
Muma, that's why I
You're going to bench Muma?
Yes,
Okay.
I said Muma. Yeah.
Just
It's
getting
the
it out
main tank
there.
direction.
Thanks, Brent. Double checking. All right, so that means, of course, you're going to be fielding, last but not least, to is Dante.
Yeah.
Why are you putting Dante in every starting lineup?
Because Dante's incredible. He's the best player that they've got on this roster. They absolutely should be building around him in 2020. The guy's brilliant on any hero that he plays, honestly, and he's got such a deep hero pool, but his Sombra in particular, it just wins you games.
I like it. I like it a lot. Big pickup from the Shock. Doing work for Houston.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does even more in 2020. Well, we did mention these two teams are out of the playoff runs, but they can also play spoiler to some of the teams remaining in our standings trying to fight for those 12 spots. Who is that, Josh? Can you name that actor?
Yeah, it's Josh Sutherland.
No, that's incorrect.
Hutchinson. Very
Josh
close.
Hutchinson.
There we
Yeah,
go. He's
Hutchinson's
been getting it wrong backstage all day long. But let's take a look at this, guys. Justice and Houston still have matches to go. Justice takes on Atlanta Reign, who are looking for not only a spot in the top 12, but maybe top 6 if they can keep it up. Chengdu Hunters have to face off against the Houston Outlaws. Who is the bigger threat right now?
Definitely, I would say the Washington Justice looking to snag that win over the Atlanta Reign.
You think so?
I think
1-1
so,
right now.
Well, for sure.
Put
But
down the Outlaws again?
you're so high on the Chengdu
Classic.
Hunters, and now you're talking them down.
Brent, do you have any faith that Houston could upset the Hunters here?
Yeah,
Is it
probably.
a good matchup?
I think the Chengdu Hunters are probably one of the most inconsistent teams in the league. You don't know which one's going to show up on the day. Houston Outlaws, when teams get eliminated, this happens all the time. They often play a lot better because there's no more stress, there's no more pressure of trying to make it, right? They're free from the pressure. So I could anticipate, honestly, we might just see a resurgence of Houston Outlaws towards the tail end of it.
All right, we still have 2 more games to go in this battle. Who comes out on top and which player are you watching?
I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Corey. And if I can cheat a little bit, Corey and Stratus, because I want to see them both carry on this ridiculous run that they've had in Stage 4. I think the Justice should be favored, but Houston have actually been playing pretty well. It's that carefree attitude.
Renji?
Probably Dante, honestly. We've been bigging him up. He's a good player. He's a good lad as well. You know, used to play Minecraft. Good game, that. So, yeah.
Dante, the Minecrafter, gonna crush in the second half. We'll see how it all plays out. Don't go anywhere. More Overwatch when we return.
And that's Dallas setting themselves up for a quick take here.
Coming from a small town to like a big city like this, it's definitely different, but also cool and exciting. It sucks like leaving my friends and stuff behind and family, but like I knew what I wanted to do and this is what I want to do in life.
Trill nails the shatter.
I just want to have fun and just do something that makes me happy, right? And this makes me happy. Getting to like travel, meet new people. I feel like this is like a once in a lifetime sort of thing. So like I just want to take it and just like run with it as long as I can.
One more time. The Vancouver Titans, Stage 1 champions. The Shark have done it. Stage 2 champions. Make some noise for the current holders of the California Cup.
And there you have it, the rivalry weekend. Be sure to get your tickets at the LAValiant.com website. And you don't want to miss it. Every homestand that we've had so far has been fantastic. Every event on the road has been phenomenal. And so, guys, be sure to get your tickets and be here if you're in Los Angeles. Or even if you're not in Los Angeles.
So many good teams going to that one, too. And so many playoff implications on the line. A lot of slots will be decided on that week. And a lot of seedings will be decided on that one. So I'm stoked for it.
So much running on it on a road event as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the teams, there's a bit of pressure. There's a bit of pressure, but on production as well. So, guys, strap in. It's going to be a wild time. We're going to be getting into it, but you know what's been gotten into so far is this series. We're tied up 1-1.
Yeah, this has been a real kind of smash mouth game, it seems. That, you know, both these teams, especially on control, felt really brawly. And then Houston almost holding the defense on first, then almost holding on second. A couple big hero plays from the off tank, I thought, for the Washington Justice. Got a lot of things done. So we're all tied up here 1-1 in our 4-map set. So a de facto best of 3. Next team to win 2 maps will take it, or we'll get a draw. We'll get a weird scenario because we are going to our hybrid type map. It is King's Row. So you saw control, then you saw assault. This is a little bit new. You're going to capture a point, and then a little cart's going to come out. And you put people on the cart, and then the cart moves, and you try to get progress on it. You get checkpoints along the way. I'll give you more time for it. The Outlaws a good record on this map, 4-3, whereas the Justice have struggled at a 1-3-1 record. So the numbers would say that Houston is going to be good on this one, but I can't make any predictions on this match. We all thought it was going to be rather quick for the Washington Justice, who have been dominant lately. Houston has been struggling. So, but yeah, it just goes to show the parity in this league, that on any given Overwatch League day, any team can win.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when, I love the meme that we saw earlier during the halftime as well. When you got a team, they got nothing to lose and everything to win. What they win is the salty tears of their opponents as they try and get into the playoffs and fail.
Look, these guys play every night, and they know that they're not going to win anything except the glory of winning and the thrill of making someone else angry.
Of ruining others' dreams.
Yep.
That's what it's all about sometimes.
Really nice early kill there, nice hook in. And Spree has been very good for this team on the Roadhog, so he's hitting hooks. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Nice wall for Stratus to enter his team in. Now it's a question of which side of the statue they want to rotate to. Well, pulled in. That's where you're rotating. Against your will. See ya, Corey.
Brilliant. And that's going to be plenty of time burned off. I mean, they've been looking good on defense, Houston.
Yeah, they're a good defensive team.
Yeah.
Just, you know, sometimes they will hold a team to 90% progress on first point. You're like, oh, wow, winnable. And then they won't get any progress themselves. Their defenses have always been good. It's just a matter of coordinating the offense has been their issues.
So wall goes down instantly here. Side of Stratus. Dante's getting very close to that Blizzard, which is going to be solid. Arc, that is a value kill, but you lose Booma on the side of the defense. You got no mercy for the res. Life just got real complicated here for the Houston Outlaws.
That
or
trade,
simple, depending on how you look at it.
Trade generally favors the offense on King's Row because your spawn is much closer and quicker, but Dante throws in the Blizzard, gets some value there. Now Corey is on a solo mission up top. Linkser's looking for him. Corey's still behind. I can't find him. But it opens up a lot of space. The dragon comes through as Corey's been able to hide, and now he gets it through onto the team. A dragon's gonna rotate the other way through. Not getting any kills. This one is back and forth, and it's a little bit scattered right now. A lot of players all over the place. A Blizzard comes in, forces out Transcendence.
That's in the counter. You get that trans going. Raucus not going to waste any time whatsoever, but we may have an opportunity now, and it is looking like it's going to be the lockdown. This time they get it right. What I was wondering is what happened in the last push when the Washington Justice, they drop Muma, they get a man advantage, it's looking good, and then they all just fall apart. Here they get the job done. We will get that first point picked up.
Well, I mean, it was kind of just Corey being a distraction and being a problem. When you get to the level that Corey's gotten over the last several weeks, you're priority number 1. So when you know he's behind you, you can't just let him be. 2 people have to go back and look for him. They don't get him. And that gives up position for the rest of his team to come in and just take that advantage.
Yeah, you're not going to get a barrier there. Muma, you're in a bit of a tight spot now. Dragon cutting him off as well. That's a dead Spree. This is going to be a dead Muma. Solid work here from Sansam, and also good work from Arc. Linkser puts an arrow through his head, but it is still a good window. Whether you got whole hog or not, Roadhog is going to do crazy damage.
They're pushing forward. Alone Zenyatta sitting back on payload duty, trying to get some progress here. As Washington taking full advantage of the positional advantage they've earned themselves, holding all right at the checkpoint right now. Supercharger down to Washington too. They're committing.
They are going into this, and then Stratus is going to get the headshot on Muma. You get the Blizzard. Cool beans. That's Dante throwing it in. Ah, there we go. Finally some value. 2 kills off the back of it, and that's a 3rd as well. So they got a bit ahead of themselves here, Washington. And the Houston Outlaws will get to defend the payload right before the point.
About halfway through, it was an ambitious hook by Sansam to try to get Spree in. Very difficult for Hogs to kill each other. Then he even threw in the whole Hog to try to make sure he got that kill. It did not happen. So now the ultimates of the Washington Justice just committed from their tank line. Supercharger up front ends up getting Muma, but doesn't win you the fight. Sansam commits his whole Hog. You'd like to have both of those back because the Outlaws are going to have both those ultimates.
Yeah. The one thing you got going for you here is this man. Oh, well, you can also get a hook kill on the Spree as well to kick things off. Spree, frustrating results there. And Stratus, he's got the Blizzard, so he's gonna be ready for it. The Dragon nearly picks him off, but he's quick. Stratus will survive it, and now with the Blizzard dropped on the point, it's gonna make it difficult here for the Houston Outlaws to defend. Spree, you could be the hero here. Does he get back into this fight? No, he's all the way back in spawn. He's not gonna be in here. There's an opportunity for Stratus to throw the Blizzard. Force him back. Force them back, make it so they can't even contest on the payload.
Now they're not getting the kills that they need though. Muma goes down and now a counter Blizzard comes in, freezes too. Should be able to clean this one up with relative ease.
Well, again, there's Houston making the plays happen. Raucous with 2. And that's just, I'm wondering if Stratus waited a bit too long to go for the Blizzard, if there was an opportunity to do it a bit faster so that the Houston Outlaws don't get to take full advantage of the bongo.
I think they waited a bit too long to press their advantage because when they got Spree down, that meant that they were always going to have shield cracking advantage.
Yeah.
Because what Roadhog does, as well as anybody else, is break the opponent's shield. So you can set up and just take inch by inch, moving your shield forward, breaking the opponent's shield because you have that advantage. Spree switched to the D.Va, very likely just get back into the fight quicker using the boosting ability. But now he's also got the chance to eat ultimates. Huge kill.
Yeah, that's big. Raucous out of it. Oh, they're cut off, but it's looking like they will survive. They finally do get the lantern to protect them, to guide them. Stratus, though.
Yeah, he was in ice block, but that block doesn't last forever. The Dragon goes through, and they halt him back into it. Linkster gets 2. Both damage dealers for Washington out of this fight. It's essentially over, but Washington's committing to it.
Yeah, they're trying to throw down. They're trying to make something happen with that window. I mean, there is a chance Sansam's going to melt the Muma shield, so nowhere for Muma to hide. And they're going to give ground here, Houston Outlaws, trying to rotate around. This is strange. It's awkward because now you're eventually going to have to come in here and try and challenge on the payload, but now you've got the bongos down. Washington Justice can just wreck you. There's so much damage possible here for the Justice. Nice Blizzard comes in, though, from Dante. Covers the point and stuck. Well, Sansam gets stuck.
Yeah, Washington has pulled back fights from the brink before in previous series, but I think it's gotten into their head that they can win any single fight because they had lost both of their damage dealers. Everyone else rotates around, and then they commit Amplification Matrix, Supercharger, Whole Hog, everything that they have, and now the cupboard was bare. They had time to reset and refused to do so.
There it is. Beautiful work from the Houston Outlaws. Not every day that we get to see teams lock down the defense on that second point, not even allow their opponents to even get close to it. They didn't get around that final bend once for Washington. So Washington Justice, they're gonna have some work to do here on the defense themselves. We'll be changing sides right after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
So the Houston Outlaws, we've touched on this repeatedly throughout this series, that they are solid on the defense. And once again, we get the show here. Hex, they looked great on Kings Row. They lock it down. They lose the first point. It was a struggle. Washington Justice were able to sneak it out from under them.
Right.
But then they don't even give a second point up.
They didn't give up second point, and I think a lot of that was, I mean, Houston played fine. Washington overcommitted twice. Once when they were first holding very far forward on second and only had one person pushing the cart. They ended up using a couple of tank ultimates.
Yeah.
That last fight really was kind of the weird one, though, because it happened with over a minute left, and they lost Corey and Stratus very early. And everyone else could have left, or they could have reset, or they could have died. And then they rotate everything around, and they use every ultimate that they have from the 2 tanks and the 2 supports. Didn't work out well, but I think it might be a case of Washington drinking the Justice Kool-Aid, thinking we're good enough to win 4v6s. And you are, but you do probably need the damage dealer in somewhere in that 4. It's kind of hard to do with just tanks and supports.
Yeah, you're not really going to be able to win out. Not against the Houston Outlaws.
Yep, but the Outlaws have had some difficulties taking points on offense, on Hollywood especially, so we shall see if the Kings Row is the same hybrid curse for them.
Okay, then when are they going to realize where they're getting shot from here on the side of Washington? Nice attempt at a Halt Hook combo, it looked like. But Sansom is just feeding a Dragon to Linkster. Linkster's going to try to not even waste time. Straight through the defense. Ito caught in the open. Dante down, but Giannis as well. And this is going to be a very quick push coming in here for the Houston Outlaws. Everything going right. And you just saw it. We were on the perfect perspective there. Linkster, just nothing dealing with them. They weren't addressing the fact that he just kept putting arrows into everybody.
Very nice halts, and I mean, that might as well be renamed the Dragon Hotel. They always go through there. It always cuts the team in half because half of them are usually hiding in the corner, and then a nice halt comes in. Muma's been very good on the halts, so these Dragons are always going to show up for Linkster in the kill feed, but a lot of these people have been dragged into the Dragon kicking and screaming here with the halt ability from Muma on Orisa. He's been yoinking them in there. And Houston with a flawless first offense.
That's awkward. Corey finds a headshot on Dante, but it's nothing like Muma. No, he's not going to make it. A 1 fight here for Washington Justice, and that is so key for the Washington Justice because the Houston Outlaws, they're going to be 1 fight away from winning the map. Had they won that one, it would have got real dicey for the Washington Justice. Instead, now the Washington Justice gets a hold here at the choke point.
It's the best point to hold on Kings Row if you actually lose first. You just look at how small this archway is. It's really perfect for May to just cut people in half, put walls up. Linkster, think about what you've done. Go back to spawn, take a breath.
Tuffy. Rest of his team, yep, gonna get spotted. And now, well, they're gonna try and push 2 together here on the Houston Outlaws side. Nice attempts. The Halt Hook combo worked, but quick reactions there from Stratus. He will not get yanked into oblivion. And now the Houston Outlaws, well, they're just gonna be dancing around here. This is all gonna turn into who peeks and who takes something to the head and dies.
Still just trying to get their way in. Noma takes half his health down already. They got in a little bit. They got the wall up at least, and now Washington giving some ground.
Yep, there we go, Blizzard. Oh, buddy, nice pick from Sam. But Janus, once again, out in the open. He's getting support. The rest of his team are doing work as well.
Should be fine.
Dragon just thrown in there by Corey. Corey eventually gets that kill, but that was nicely done by Sansem. Sansem is the tank right now who's making the plays, who's making the difference for the Washington Justice.
Definitely on Hanamura. I thought that he was one of the biggest factors on why they were able to pick up that map, and now he's making huge plays on the flank here on the Roadhog. So that Blizzard from Dante gets very little value, if any. On the flip side, Strat's going to have Blizzard coming up for the next one, and now it's kind of back into the 3-3 meta that you save Transcendence for the Blizzard. Raucus has the Transcendence. Raucus also has been eating some early arrows here, so they got to be really careful.
Oh, well, that's the combination that we're seeing now. That is how you cancel out the push. About 3 minutes on the clock for Houston.
Yeah. Supercharger just means everyone's going to run away. The hook comes in, but they're unable to finish Muma.
3 minutes, so much time here for Houston. They can just be patient, they can afford it. Many check marks coming online for Washington Justice though. So now it's going to come down to discipline on the side of the Washington Justice. How do they approach this? Maywall to protect the Blizzard, going to go ahead and throw that down. Should be the only thing that they commit. The only ult used here by Washington, now the window pane by Arc. Nice delay there.
These halted hooks have been connecting every single time. Also, Sansem almost hooked the Transcendence away from the rest of the team, and they almost cleaned up that fight on the basis of that. But Sansem's hook accuracy, 56%, hitting about half of them here. The other half are getting shunted by walls.
Yeah. No way does this happen. 2 minutes. And they're right there, right around the corner from the rectangle of victory is Houston Outlaws. And now we're going to see a change.
Yeah.
Raucus going for the Moira.
You look how far away the spawn is from the payload. 2 minutes, 2 pushes.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a long walk back. Long enough where you need a packet sandwich. Oh, buddy, the Maywall coming in from Stratus. Buying even more time. Awkward moment there for Jonas, but he is able to walk his way back around.
The Dragon just saved the tanks, really. That wasn't going for kills. That was, my tanks are in a little bit of trouble. Let me get them a Dragon to walk through and get back to the team. And he's building Dragon so quickly, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, he just throws it out there. Shenseven's got the whole hog. Shenseven's got the whole hog. Yep, throws it in there. No time wasted, opens up the wall as well, so his teammates have got a line of sight to work with. Yanis is going to get frozen, so does Sam, but that's fine. So long as they stay alive in this, it's all right. Immortality Field buying just enough time for Arc to get his team topped up, and Sam's going to find the kill on Linkser. Man advantage now for the Washington Justice, and a 2-man advantage at that.
Now they pull in Giannis, but he's got the hardened ability, so he's just fine. A late Hulk going to try to get a little bit more, but the hook is down. The wall, they're not ready to give this up. They want to get these exit kills. Gonna get it.
A minute left for the Houston Outlaws.
60 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much. There it is. So,
the assist from the in-game announcer.
I know they are 2 seconds early, but it's all good. We got check marks though. Loads of them. Those are ultimate abilities that these players build up to, and those are the big ones, the dragons that you see, the whole hogs. And while you can also just do it the old-fashioned way with the headshot. Corey takes down Muma.
I much prefer the Washington ultimate situation right now. With Blizzard and Dragon, you can either pace those out one after another. You can just toss it all in because we're below 30 seconds here. Houston Outlaws, final push on Kings Row, and they're going to have to win a convincing fight. Right now, Washington gets to pick wherever they want to fight. They can pick whichever corner they want, whichever angle they want to take. It's the defender's advantage coming up huge right now. And they've got almost every ultimate to work with. A Spree self-destruct, I think, might be the best chance to maybe open this up and buy some space.
Now or never, and getting D-Mech is not going to help. Spree with the self-destruct, though, he'll get a fresh one, and that takes out the overpower, but now you're going to get the Blizzard thrown in. You've got the sound barrier here. They're just trading back and forth on both of these teams. Guido with the trance. We'll see when he decides to use it. Arc goes down! Opportunity here for the Houston Outlaws to push forward and win this fight now. Without Arc, that's a lot of healing gone for the Washington Justice. They're at risk of getting overwhelmed.
Awesome.
Boom, doing it. There it is. The plays at the end. Houston Outlaws, they made us wait, but they get the job done. They will take the lead in the series. 2-1.
Linkser with the gutsy play, the enormous flank, and in that composition, you take down the Baptiste. There's almost no healing. A Zen is not a healer. He's a damage dealer who accidentally has a healing transcendence. Someone confused the development team on that one, but you take that out. The Death Blossom just gets in, gets all the value in the world, and the Houston Outlaws have taken a 2-1 lead over the Washington Justice.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Let them up. Tranquility.
So here you have them, the Houston Outlaws taking the lead. They've won Kings Row. We're going into potentially the final map of the series now, which will be Route 66. But before we get into it, I mean, the Houston Outlaws, they're looking revitalized without any pressure on their shoulders. It seems kind of silly to say about a professional team, but I mean, without any pressure on their shoulders, we're starting to see them bloom, Hex.
Yeah,
coming into their own.
Out of the playoffs, feeling a little looser, and then, you know, being out of the playoffs allows Linkster to not even think about that flank. That flank is what won them that map.
Yes.
You get back there and you take down the main heals, like the only real heals in Baptiste.
Yes.
You can't even get the immortality field down. I don't know if it was on cooldown or not, but like he got there so quick. And if you don't know that there's a Reaper there, by the time you get one full blast to the head, that's it. Like you can't really do anything. That's over. So he gets them down, and then you just walk in and you Death Blossom. So, but what I'm saying is he's loose enough to be able to try to make that play. Because if it fails, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there's all those kinds of different scenarios there where you're looking at Guido. Do you use the trance? Do you not use the trance? Do you try and stay quiet about it? But it didn't pan out for Washington Justice. They are by no means done, though. Corey and Linkster right now are about tit for tat in terms of stats. They're very even. We got Stratus and Dante as well who are chiming in on this play. So the damage dealers, they've shown up to play. Now the Washington Justice, they're battling here. Backs to the wall. They need to win this map to take it to a 5th map and potentially win the series. Corey, there's the start. Take down Boink. That's already going to be good. But once again, John.
He got hooked. And he got hooked, but it does seem to be a pattern at a certain point in time. I'm not sure if Harden was already used or Fortify, rather.
He just constantly dies.
I think Harden is the immortal ability in StarCraft.
Yeah.
I get a little bit confused. There was a great immortal skin, by the way, for Orisa. If you don't have that, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's the immortal one. But I mean, you also have, what is it?
We're gonna lose people with StarCraft. So
no, it's Pokemon, man. It's that one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Like a grub or whatever.
Sure. Go ask one of the other nerds. I'm not up on it.
Yeah.
All right, Houston is able to roll through here. They historically have had a very difficult time on Route 66. I believe the record on Route 66 is 1-3 this year, so you know, not as bad as it used to be, but this used to be the map that if you were a Houston fan, you dreaded going to see. But they make very quick work of the first point while we were distracted by Pokemon, and they're going to roll in through second. There's only been 4 eliminations this entire map so far.
Yeah, Washington really giving up that one easy. Don't really know if that was the play to make because you can. That's the whole point of taking the fight early is being able to challenge again, but they elect to hold off on it and they're going to stick around on this second point and hold on the high ground. This is where Corey can really get comfortable with that Widow, looking for shots at range. You can see him.
Spree being very aggressive, but he gets in there, gets on Sansam. He gets anti-healed to Spree, but he's going to be just fine. That'll wear off eventually. Meanwhile, Linkster is just roaming up the rooftops, and he's got a dragon ready.
Yeah, he's already got the dragon ready. And what we learned is that if you don't pay attention to Linkster, he's going to ruin your day. That's what we saw on Kings Row offense. He just wrecked them, and now he can spot them all here with the dragon as well. Looking for it. Looking to get rid of Arc. A bit greedy there, perhaps, on the side of Linkster.
But they could just wait for this immortality field to go away now, too, or just pop it through. Yeah, they cut the team in half, and Houston continues to roll. And what's most impressive and or important is that Houston's been doing this with very minimal ultimate ability usage. Sure, the dragon comes through, but look, 25% back up for Linkster. Sure, the window came through Boink, but does it really matter? They're rolling through 10 final blows for the Houston Outlaws. A single final blow for the Washington Justice.
And Corey has it. Corey's got it.
But right now, they're just not getting anything done. Sansam's going for aggressive hooks. He's getting punished for them. Houston rolling through. They're hitting combos. They're hitting alt hooks. And now Supercharger comes in to try to stabilize. But look at the positioning for Washington. The Supercharger comes in from a different county.
They're just chilling out right now because look at all this free push that the Houston Outlaws are getting. Couldn't be better. Well, you got the bongos down. Sansam going to yank Muma into his death. And that's going to pretty much end the party here. No fun.
That should stabilize here. There's a retreating wall right there. Dante's going to back up. Momo waits to rejoin his team, but still a really good situation as that was only the second elimination put on the Houston Outlaws on map so far. 4.5 minutes to try to complete it.
Oh, just out of range. So close. And Sansam. Oh, Sansam survives!
Immortality field went down and saved him, gave him time to take a breather. Dueling Blizzards now on the point.
Yeah, and looking for the follow-up. Oh, heard it in. Rock is even throwing in the trance. Betty wishes he had that one back. That's a painful ults to use in that way.
It's not grand. Maybe he'll be switching off a bit here, but it's a nice flanking whole hog there from Sansam. As the Blizzard came in, a couple people were frozen up, but it looked like there wasn't going to be completion because the people who could complete it were frozen as well. Sansam comes around, knocks them all into the team. They die along the way, but even if they hadn't, that's a great ability to push them back into the open maw of your teammates.
Indeed it is. And Rock is staying on his end as well. So frustrating moment there for the Houston Outlaws, but they've got 3.5 minutes on the clock, Hex, and we even saw them do it in overtime on King's Row. So they're not done until they're done. Window there for the Boink, and Rock is looking to open it, trying to take advantage. Immortality Field is going to keep them alive through that Dragon, though, so no worries there on their side for the Houston Outlaws. They're still alive and kicking.
A lot of ults used, but no kills confirmed from either side. You gotta be careful. He's just outside the max range of that hook.
They're just like steadily giving ground on the side of Washington Justice. They've really caught up, though. This has been their point, their Alamo, where they've hung out, and now they're nearly tied up with the kills.
Zen battle! Raucus gets it in the end. Raucus is still alive somehow, but it matters not as the defense for Washington Justice has stabilized.
Yeah, they're tied up, 12-12 now. Yeah, for a second there, they're going into this final push. It was 10-1. Houston Outlaws just dominating. Now we've got a match on our hands.
This last point is a little bit defensively favored, as are all Esport maps. The further along you get, the more defensively favored they become as far as architecture, high ground, spawn points, etc. But not the biggest surprise that this is where a lot of teams stall out. Supercharger down.
There, bonus damage is there. Now you're getting the window pane here from Arg. Trying to take advantage of it. Corey is as well. Houston Outlaws so far have not given up anything, though. We're seeing the ult get used here by Washington Justice, but the Houston Outlaws doing a decent job of trying to stabilize. Spree gets D-Mexed, but he's still alive. He can still get a fresh one. And now you're going to get the Blizzard thrown in here. Stratus, once again, connecting, trying to clear this point. Dante still on the payload, but you will have that contest coming in from Sansam. And Dante, he's going to go down here. No. The halt? Oh, the Maywall. What a save from Dante, the lone survivor.
Blizzards from both sides come out, but earlier on, Raucus had been forced to use Transcendence from the pressure of the amplification matrix on the high ground. So the Transcendence came out early. There was no Transcendence for Washington either, but if Houston had Transcendence during that last Blizzard engagement, they may have come out on top of that fight. Raucus now off of the Zenyatta over the Moira.
That's an annoying Dragon. Force you out in the open, and now we've got a Linkser on that Reaper once again, looking to try and shake things up. We saw that it was effective on London for the Houston Outlaws in that final push. So we'll see, can Linkser repeat the magic twice? Uma already dead for this push, though. And once again, Hex, we're down to a minute on the clock here for Houston Outlaws. It's not a whole lot of time to work with. They're down to a couple of pushes.
They should be able to get to a Death Blossom up here too, and there's no Diva on the other side of things, so Sansam's gonna have to hit a hook, or they're gonna have to kill Linkser very quickly before he's able to get enough damage done. Raucus on the Moira should of course get Coalescence, one of the fastest charging ultimates in the game. We shall see who else can get their ultimate-wise. Sansam's still holding Whole Hog, which I think he should just hold until the very last second and try to knock them off of the payload.
Steals used by Arg, trying to keep everybody topped up. There's the window. Here's the setup. Halt off the side, but that's not before Boink goes down. Immortality Field's used here by Arg. I bet he wishes he had that back, though, because the pressure wasn't quite there. Thought the flank was on, but instead it's going to be Linkser falling back.
Well, Ark was scared about Linkser getting there because of what just happened on King's Row, so he'd rather be safe than sorry and use the Immortality Field. 15 seconds remain, and Houston Outlaw on the wrong side of the kill feed right now. They have to try to get back in here and touch. They have Death Blossom and Coalescence.
Yeah, do they get the second one here? Yep, Raucus and Muma. There we go. They touch the point. Raucus has still got Coalescence. There it is. Side Steve trying to keep Muma up. Muma gets pushed out of line of sight of Raucus, though. 2 kills for Sansam, essentially, and that will be a successful defense. Somehow, Linkser TPs onto the point, but it doesn't register, and so that will be the end of the push for the Houston Outlaws.
The Dragon was enormous because if Houston was able to prolong that fight, they would have gotten Blizzard and several other really important ultimates online.
Right.
But the Dragon scuffs it so that they have to play really aggressive onto the payload, and that is where the offense will stop for the Houston Outlaws.
So, looking up here for the Washington Justice. This time, it doesn't work out for Houston. The Justice are able to keep it together. Arc stayed alive. That's a big one. You pointed it out. I mean, you used the field. Maybe fearing a little bit of the flank coming in from Linkser, the pressure there. But still, got the job done. And so we will be switching sides. Washington Justice are now the team that are going to go on the offense, and we'll see how many points they can pick up.
Well, I mean, Arc dying to the flank to Linkser lost them King's Row. So
Yes.
you see Linkser on the flank, and immediately you're ready. Like, that's fine. I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna leave. I'm out. I don't want that to happen again, which is fine. Better safe than sorry. It's got a long cooldown, and it's a very important ability. But I don't mind it. I get it, right? There is a psychology involved there.
Well, it's just, nobody wants to die in early heads, especially when your whole team is counting on you surviving. That's kind of key.
That's a pretty good offense, though, for Houston. I mean, they just blew through the first and second points in a dominant fashion, 10 eliminations to 1 on the other side of things. And then it's that final point where you have a defender's natural advantage, even just up a hill, counting as high ground, around the corner, counting as high ground. You get those trailers over towards the edge there, and that's where you saw Arc set up the entire time, just dropping amplification matrix after matrix, doing a ton of damage, forcing out ultimates with that. So we shall see. Linkser on the Widow, gonna forward hold here. Everyone forward holds on this map now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the standard. I thought I saw a rat for a second there, but no. It is just Stratus on a Mei, hanging out on the side. And eventually Washington Justice will try to establish themselves on the payload. Guido, halted, hooked, easy peasy there. A freebie for Spree.
There was a shield right there, too. Like, he just floated out in front of it because there was a wall from Houston. That's just straight up a mistake.
Can't afford to make those kinds of errors.
Unless, I don't know if he got halted in front of it, but he shouldn't have if there's a...
Right now it's about building ult charge for Linkser. That's what he's looking for there. Hey, so far so good here for Houston. We're approaching the 3-minute mark here for Washington Justice on that defense.
So far nothing going here. Woo! Not the ideal hook target. Spree's just going to heal up and actually just gain ult charge from it.
Yeah, Spree loving that. And there's the wall going down, cut Sansam off from the rest of his team. Sansam's gonna be able to take a breather, but that's about it. There's the field, impeccably timed, but it's not gonna save him. He gets yanked into oblivion.
Whoa!
Guido with 3 though.
Yeah, well, look at the assist on Guido right there. It's the amplification matrix. This is something we see from top teams with the Zen, just sits behind the amp matrix. And you thought Zen did enough damage already? Wait till you put him behind the amplification matrix. Doubling that damage. I believe that's what's going to happen exactly right here. The wall will fall. He rotates out, lives in the immortality field, just sending the orbs through the amp matrix.
Yeah, it's big damage. It's big damage. And that's going to be the play. So, now let's see. Houston, I imagine, yeah, they're going to be here fast enough. They're going to be able to
That's why you forward hold, because you're going to get another hold anyway.
Took down Guido, but then you trade for Boink. The main healer gone here for the Houston Outlaws. It's going to make it tough for them to really contest. Going to be lacking throughput. Oh, an attempt there from Corey. Caught Dante looking the wrong way. Dante in the open.
Now he's discorded. He's got to get out of there, go get healing from his friends. There's a nice crossfire set up from the Houston Outlaws here. A Transcendence comes out early from Rockets. I didn't see exactly what force they, if anything. Blizzard's out from both sides.
It's all over the place. Giannis put a shield up though, so he will survive it. Sansam removes Spree, so we're trading back and forth. We've lost Arc. That's the healing down for the Washington Justice. Washington need to come up with the kill right now. And it's going to be so hard to do because everybody's so healthy on the side of the Houston Outlaws.
A Transcendence comes out because they believe they can still have this fight if they should need it. Giannis is cut off from the rest of the team, just walks halfway through a dragon, but doesn't die for it. They needed to be a little more patient and wait for Arc to come back. He's the big source of healing on this team.
And also going to be the source of damage. Let's see, does the window work again? That would be the play. I mean, it's really what's going to be necessary because you're down to a minute here if you're the Washington Justice. So get the job done now. We're running out of time.
This is match point, too. Washington Justice have been rolling through some of the top teams in the league, but we've seen this from Houston before. Their win percentage is way higher against good teams than it is against bad teams.
Up to the top, looking for it. Corey coming up with the headshot right now would be clutch. Would be exactly what his team needs. He's only sitting on 4 final blows right now, slightly underperforming. Not quite able to connect with the shots either, but we will get the window pane. Houston Outlaws, clever. They're playing the angles. We don't need to show ourselves.
Ventures out, Stratus falls very low, still lives through it. Corey nearing Dragon, almost dies as well, but he gets Linkser in the duel.
There it is. That could turn the tide. Dragon straight onto the point, trying to clear the way here for the Washington Justice to push onto the point and start making some progress. Muma with the contest around the corner, gets spotted out. A little bit of damage here being put in by Stratus. Blizzard over the top, and this is going to force the Houston Outlaws out into the open. Muma doing a good job of surviving it so far. Dante here with the Blizzard of his own, trying to turn it. Guido will get the trance off though, and Washington Justice, too many alive. They've got to turn it now, and they will be able to pick up a point.
Yeah, Muma should be falling shortly. The big difference in that fight, the Blizzards come out from both sides. Raucus was dead at 95% nearing Transcendence. The other side, Guido has Transcendence, able to keep his team alive through the icy dark of the winter. And just like that, Washington will get the first checkpoint, adding 2.5 minutes to their clock, but a great defense from Houston.
Solid work, and they save it at the end. But you're allowed very little room for error now if you're Washington. You're down to 2 minutes. You got a whole lot of ground to cover leading into the second point. Well, you're still just waiting. Spread out. Careful now. Houston right now, they can play patient. They've been doing a great job so far. No reason to get frustrated. They're ahead in terms of ults, and Linkser is outpacing Corey right now in terms of kills. Thing is that it's balanced out by Stratus. Dante, 0 kills so far. Stratus is still chiming in with 4.
Linkser is living the high life there, and then he goes really aggressive and jumps down onto the point. I don't think it's going to cost them unless this duel goes the way of Stratus.
It could though, because now you got the reinforcement.
That's a great range shield. Giannis has done so many cool things this game. I'm dying first a lot, but that's another one very much like the very first map that we had. Long range shield, and it gives them just enough to keep Stratus in this fight and keep the payload pushing.
Houston back at it though. So once again now, what do we got to work with? Pretty much just a Blizzard. Otherwise, look at Houston, so many check marks. They've been very patient with their ultimate use. They haven't been taking any unnecessary risks. And that's going to be Linkser opening up the fight with the Dragons. But 4 ults still, soon to be 5 from Dante. They got impatient Hex. They didn't want to wait to crack the 6-pack. They're going to just jump right in.
Dante trying to set up an angle, but you don't really have to worry. There's nothing to eat up your Blizzard here. Linkser's controlling the high ground. You don't have to worry about getting sniped up top, so now it's just a matter of when you want to use it.
Throw it over the top. I mean, Corey's still hanging out there. Is he going to get it off? Yeah, he is. So Blizzard's on both sides.
Transcendence is out for both sides as well.
So forcing it, and Muma's the one to go down. Corey, again, 2 kills when his team needs it. That's 4 kills for Corey. Looking for more, but Sansam robs him.
Corey is the carry. Like, that is just what's happened for this team. When they need it the most, he comes up absolutely clutch, gets in there. It's not always dragons, it's not always even storm arrows. Here, it's individual arrow accuracy.
Yeah, with the window pane, that's it. That's how he's getting these one-shot headshots.
Well, the halt also helps too, brings him right in there, and he always capitalizes on it. Now Houston's gonna try to stabilize some defense, but they've used all their ultimates.
Yeah, they're going in. Arc trying to survive, not gonna happen. He's out, but Spree at the same time goes down. Nice bio-nade here from Raucus, though. Gonna put the pressure on Washington. But Houston Outlaws, they're falling one after the other, and this is gonna be a hard reset coming in here from Houston. Now you have to hold on the long stretch.
1 minute remains for the Washington Justice to send us to a map 5.
Quick plays here from Genis, though. Get us established on the high ground. I like it. Gonna get that shield up. Now Corey can try and block him into the spawn here on the side of Houston. Corey is not far off the dragon either, so we're gonna be keeping an eye on that. The halt is there, but the job was done. The barrier and the overpower and the supercharger up there. Gonna be just allowing Corey to crank out damage.
Dragon almost ready as well. You can just launch it right across the cart.
Try to keep eyes on it. Where's it coming from? All right, Corey able to back off. He's gonna survive it. Dragon of his own, straight onto the point. Raucus whiffs the sleep. A chance now. Corey gets bio-nated, but he doesn't care. He's still hunting for kills. Sansam takes down Spree, and we could be looking at a map 5 here. Washington dancing on the edge. There's the window going down from Arc. Corey took full advantage of it last time, but it's Linkser to take down Sansam.
Really well timed from Dante. He waited for Transcendence to fade before throwing the Blizzard, but counter Blizzard out.
Counter Blizzard's there, and Muma is gonna go, and this is gonna be the Washington Justice. They need to get rid of Spree fast. There's a chance here. Linkser has gone to the fist, gonna get in here to contest last second, but it's not enough. And the Washington Justice do not give up. we're going the distance. We're going to a 5th map.
El Clasico indeed, as both of these teams have played their guts out today. This is a fun one between teams that don't necessarily have the biggest playoff hopes, but they're really putting on a show for us. Map 5 right after this.
Nice. Good hold.
Good job, Jerry.
Dude, what the? I literally never whiffed that hard in my life. I was like, oh no, I was charging a right click and I went cat, and a Baptiste jumped in my face and like literally scared the out of me. And then I missed him, and then I just shot 2 times. And I like almost killed him with a hijab drone. That was actually like I've never. Okay. I hit every other shot besides that shot, and like that's it.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Yeah, you got Raucous on your screen there, just wondering how he whiffed all of these shots, or that shot in particular.
But you can still tell it's kind of a looser atmosphere, right? You know, it's like, yeah, I missed. It was weird. It was weird. All right, moving on. You know, it's not like, oh, you cost us the game. But like, they're having more fun, and yeah, sometimes you just miss.
I think that's going to be the thing here for the Houston Outlaws, as Spree has made his way back to the stage. Welcome back, Spree, and we'll be getting into the action shortly on the final map of this series. We've done it. We've done it. It's been a while since you and I got a 5-mapper hex.
Has it? I feel like we always
Maybe
do
last week.
5-mappers.
No, we had 4 and 4 yesterday, right? So I mean,
maybe because we had draws. I think
Yeah,
this is the only reason why. Anyway, I'm always thrilled to go to map 5. We're going to go to Control, and if you remember all the way back to our very first map of this series, Control was extremely close. And as we head to Busan, we will look at our Hanzo statistics here between our 2 Hanzo heroes. The deaths are what really stands out there. Corey dying very little, and then the critical hit kills a little bit in favor of Corey. Other than that, pretty close. I mean, obviously Corey's standing up. Corey doing better. But, I mean, I think he's established himself as one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant Hanzo in the league.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is the meta really coming into his own. He's feeling it. He gets to play damage dealers. The meta revolves around Hanzos, etc. So, I mean, this is where you get to really just get that Corey show. Man's ecstatic. They're going back and forth like a Christmas tree over here. But it is going to be Busan, the final map of this series. This is it. Who is going to win it? And mirrored records on this map for these teams.
Justice 3 and 5, Outlaws 5 and 3. So, yeah, not a whole lot of data to really go on here. I want to see what each team wants to run because we've seen so many different strategies. I remember on this point in particular was when Houston really started coming to their own and let their guys play their best heroes. Linkser came out on Soldier 76 and just pounded for a round or two, so it was pretty interesting. It looks like Corey wants to kick it off on the Widowmaker. We've seen it work on this map before. Meanwhile, Linkser gonna pick up the mantle of the bow and arrow. Other than that, pretty mirrored compositions. Raucus and Guido choosing different flex supports.
It's just weird to see Linkser on a Hanzo. He'll get the chance to change now. Very nice of Corey to provide him with the chance to go over to the Widow.
Yeah, he's kind.
Oh, come on, Linkser. Change it up, go to the Widow, go toe-to-toe. This man has just spat on your honor of a Widow, of a sniper. You're gonna take this, Guff?
It is the equivalent of taking your glove off and slapping someone in the face in the Widow v Widow. But Linkser gonna be the team player, stick on the Hanzo. Right now, though, the kill's coming in fast and strong for Washington. Also control of the points for Washington. Counts up rather quickly. A hook there late on Amuman. They didn't get out on time. Now it's time to full-on reset. You can't fight without your main tank on this point. You can't. It's impossible. You shouldn't even be peeking without your main tank on this point. Corey teaches them that lesson.
Yeah, they're caught in the open there. That's a bit of a sad situation for Houston. And there we go. There we go. Linkser has changed it up. We'll get the Widow on Widow. Bit of an edge now for Corey, though, because he's got the infrasight up. As soon as they spot the Houston Outlaws, they get to use that ultimate.
Spree is left. That's a nice dart. It buys them time. You don't really want to go in without Spree.
But now you can see through walls. So now Linkser, the impact that he gets to have is going to be limited by Corey getting to be ready for him. Sees him coming.
Another sleep onto Spree, who has spent most of this attack napping.
It's a big target.
It is.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what is in that dart to take out Roadhog, man. That's like a big guy. That's a lot of mass there.
If it could make Roadhog sleep, it should just kill Tree.
Yeah, right? Exactly. It's, you know, I don't know why they're coming back up. Linkser.
Oh, nice kill on Iana's first. That's a main tank down. We just talked about the importance of that, but now they trade out.
Again, main tank for main tank, and just in case you were wondering, Washington Justice are currently in control of the point. 79%, 80% and counting. Finally, we'll get a contest here out of the Houston Outlaws. Corey with the juke and jive, he's gonna dodge it. Raucus is coming to say hi though. Raucus is done with this. The antics, they're over, and Raucus wins the duel.
Did he just transcend across the map to take that duel with Corey?
Let's go. I like it, Raucus. You didn't whiff that one, buddy.
Ah, that is the most sideshow Zenyatta play I've ever seen in my life.
What are you doing? You don't replicate what Sideshow does on his stream.
But now maybe Sideshow's replicating Raucus. I love it. All right, Houston takes control of the map at 99% for the Washington Justice. They are a single fight away, and they've got a Blizzard in the bank. Usually pretty good if you can get position near the point, but now they have to contest with Roadhog on the flank, Linkser's on the flank on the sight lines.
Boom. There we go. Linkser drops Corey, and that's an instant fallback signal here for the Washington Justice. Linkser even going aggressive. He doesn't have anything to worry about now, so he gets to go ahead, take these shots. The rest of Washington trying to back off. Spree was at risk, but he backed off. I like that from Spree.
Raucus gets a
really
volley onto Stratus as well, so that's going to further delay them. Houston taking these single kills to win fights. Also gets Raucus closer to another Transcend in case he wants to hunt Corey down again.
Exactly. This is an opportunity. Oh, he saw him too. Linkser ready for it. Corey going to go ahead and reposition, and then that's not going to be useful because Linkser now gets to see through walls along with the rest of his team. As long as that bar is going, Janice, that is the Halt Hook combo, I'm pretty sure.
Another single kill will send the Justice scurrying backward.
Just off on the timing, opens it up. They know where he's coming from. Really solid work here on the Houston Outlaws side. They're not even letting the Washington Justice set up on the point have any kind of real contest. They're taking the fight to him early and just getting these picks.
Since Houston has taken the points, there's not been a fight. They've gotten 4 kills, and Washington's had to back up every single time. And now, 80 plus with Houston in control. This is very likely the final fight at this point.
See it, window pane's down, nowhere to hide. Dante instantly blitzed. That's big. With the window pane, so much additional damage. Raucus used the trance, and now there's going to be the blizzard because, hey, you don't have a trance, you're not going to be able to heal through it anymore.
It doesn't catch anyone.
Doesn't catch it, but it forces them off, and now they're halfway to it, and they're finding kills. Big weld going down, just delaying the damage. Thrown in here by Houston, Muma, Spree, everybody falling on the side of Houston, and it's the Washington Justice winning out on this fight.
Just not enough healing there once they were able to take care of Boink. It was the hook that brought him in, and then they finished him off, and then the tanks just don't have the healing output. Raucus can't heal both of his tanks. Like, literally, he's only got 1 healing orb, and then if you don't have Transcendence, you're just not going to put out enough healing, so getting the kill onto the main healer. Look, when you kill a Baptiste in that kind of composition, it's like killing a Mercy. Like, the tank should fall shortly after. That's how important he is.
Well, we're seeing a bit of a role reversal here, Hex. We're pretty much dead even in terms of kills, but who do you think has the kills? It's not the damage dealers, it's the supports. Arc sitting on 4 final blows, Raucus on 5. It's not about the damage dealers anymore. It's about these guys getting in bloodthirsty supports. They've listened to Doa too much. They need to calm down.
Well, we will enter into the downtown section of our Busan map. Linkser on the Widow to start it out. Corey now is going to play the Hanzo to kick it off. I really like this map for Widowmakers. You take this high ground early on, but a lot of teams are just pressuring and playing the point, and you don't have a great sight line for it. Yeah, you see Corey knew something was up. Muma had already tried to track him down. I think Corey, once he dies, is going to have to switch to Widow. Not only for the Widow threat on the other side, but because Dante's on the far.
Exactly. This is a lot of faith from Dante as well. He's trusting in Linkser to have his back. So if that change comes through, Linkser needs to dominate Corey. As long as Linkser maintains the pressure, Dante can just do damage all day long. Frisbee's thrown in there to keep him up, though. So yes, there was a sleep, but Corey will survive it. And Washington Justice will be sent back to spawn. Corey, oh man, does he switch now though? He's at 92% on a dragon.
Yeah, Rocket's not whiffing anymore though. His Zen was good last. He's hitting darts all over the place. He even takes down Guido there. This has been a very good match for Raucus. No, Corey does not go. Well, he goes to Widow now. He's on Tracer for a moment. Muma is already holding the high ground that Corey wants, and Linkser is already holding the trophy of Corey's head.
Yeah, he's got the angle ready for it.
Poorly timed camera. That's all right. He's probably so used to brushing hair out of his face, it's just instinctual.
Raucus, though, you're right, pointed out. Definitely not whiffing now. He's feeling it. And Washington Justice, well, let's see. Are they able to batter their way through the defense here? 40% on the board here for the Houston Outlaws. And they're battling from behind, looking to tie this up. We find ourselves on King of the Hill again. It's best of 3. Washington in the lead. Match point for Washington.
But Giannis and Stratus have collapsed onto D.Va on the point, so much so they have to nano spree to keep him alive.
Spicy moment there for Dante. Nice attempt at the snipe coming in from Sensem. Guido, though, going to get caught. Stratus at the hack on Spree is going to put him on notice, and Spree just going to be able to dodge out of here. No worries at all.
Boink Valkyrie kills down Stratus. It has been a fiesta here for the Houston Outlaws, but they're getting it done. Washington has not been able to find anything on this point. They've been pushed all the way back. The air control firmly in control of Houston as they keep rocking over to the right side. Never really felt in any danger either.
No, and now Corey's at risk. Corey be able to launch himself back, trading blows. But we're at 90% on the board now for Houston Outlaws. Potential flip goes through, but Stratus gonna back off, and Lynx is gonna be the one to kick off the party. Once again, Guido, the first to fall. He's died 4 times so far, and all of them pretty much on this map right now. So brutal turn of events here, but it is back and forth. These teams really looking to take the fight to each other. Washington Justice do get the flip, but now they need to win it.
But they snuck it in. Giannis and Arc were both just chilling on the point, trying to create some pressure. They're trying to put enough pressure on the points, open it up, but Dante knocks Arc into the water! Lucios aren't used to that!
No, they're not used to swimming. They sink like stones. Stratus with the EMP, but it's not gonna be enough. Is there anybody here to touch? It doesn't look like it. Yes, okay, barely Guido, but he's not going to live for long. Giannis is joining the party as well. He gets his shields. Guido gets a boost off on him as well. So you do have a boosted Giannis, a real tough target to take down. Might make all the difference with the mines as well thrown in. Is Giannis the hero? He might have done it.
Muma had already dropped his mines. Giannis can't distinguish between his mines and Muma's rolls through him. And
what is this meme?
it is only fitting that we should go to the final points of Busan in what has been a nail-biter of a match between two teams firmly out of the playoffs, but playing their hearts out here today. And let's go to the Mecha Base, a map that even during the 3-3 meta, we would see some Widow, we would see some Tracer, things like that. So I am looking forward to what either of these teams wants to run. Although I do think kind of in this current situation of the meta, you have to run a Mei just because the entry points are so exploitable with the walls.
Exactly, that's the thing. You can cut them off. There are all these choke points. Very little open ground to take advantage of. What are we going to look at here, though? Because Corey, he's gone straight to the Widow this time. That's the change here. Stratus is on Mei. That's mirrored by Dante. But then Corey's on the Widow. Lynx are on the Reaper. Spree right over the top, hunting Corey, trying to put some pressure on him. Does not want to let Corey get comfortable.
Well, I mean, that's the spot. Everyone knows that's the spot for Widow, so he's probably going to check it again.
It seems like Spree's job is just, okay, hunt the Corey, hunt the Widow. Do not let the sniper get in position. Nice contest here. Last second, but goes too high, Sensem, and that's going to be the flip. Now they're on the back foot on the side of Washington. Do they have what it takes to grit it out here? Houston Outlaws, they will get the first control.
I'm just watching the top down, watching Spree's icon chase Corey's icon around all over the place, and they will get first control. Corey finally falls. That means Spree can rejoin his team onto this point.
That's Rockus going down. Rockus finding the kill on Guido, but you lost Linkser as well. If your team can just win out 5v5, it's looking really good for you. But then Janus, he's been on a tear. 2 kills for Janus.
Looks like he's all alone right now. Linkser's on the flank too.
Survives it though, right back into the beam. Bit of damage, big wall, big play from Dante. Cuts off the Washington Justice tanks. And that's Houston Outlaws up to 40%.
Doing great. Corey knows that he immediately has to switch off just based on what Spree just did to him. Just chase him around the map entirely, and that's totally fine. Corey gets in here, now he's on the Reaper, but he's way behind in terms of ultimates. It'd be very hard to re-enter. And this is the cat and mouse game you see on this point too. Oh, they're not here, they must be here. It's very easy to figure out where a team's coming from.
Exactly. Sound barrier used to open up this fight. Do they get onto the point itself? Yes, they do. There's the bomb goes. Okay, now they're boosted up here on the side of the Washington Justice. Massive damage possible. Spree throws himself on there, trying to remove it from the picture. Now you're going to get the blizzards thrown in here as well on both sides. Sound barrier in, but a second too late. Linkser and Muma go down for the Houston Outlaws. And this is all about delaying now for the Houston Outlaws because they're at 80% and counting. They are in one fight territory now, Hex.
For the most part, throughout the day, Stratus has simply gotten more value out of his blizzards than Dante has. And maybe it's positioning, maybe it's simply more comfort with the hero.
Yeah.
Stratus has been very good on the Mei throughout this last several times. It feels like Dante is still kind of working out, like trying to figure it out in the lab as we go. But right now, Houston sitting at 84% is very likely a single fight away from taking this series.
All over the place. All over the place, but I see more check marks on the side of Washington, and that bodes well for them on the defense. Means that Houston have to work their way into him, and Guido wastes no time at all with the coalescence. Woo. Corey playing with fire, dancing around the corners, barely survives it. And he's just waiting. He's got the Blossom, and yep, there you go. You dropped right into a Linkser trying to make the same play happen, but it goes the way of Washington.
Patient play. I thought for a moment he was going to try to teleport up top and then drop into them there, but he waits for them.
Yeah.
The Death Blossom acts in a giant sphere around the Reaper, so it goes below and above. So they just drop right into the radiation zone of the Blossom and they melt away.
All those shotgun pellets. Painful. Big heals coming out here from Rockus though, and he's got his ult, so let's see. We've wrapped around 70%. Last second contest here from Washington. Rockus intent on just keeping his teammates up, not really looking for damage unless it offers itself up. Arc with the sound barrier though. Washington looking to find a kill quick. Rockus dancing on the edge, and that's going to open Spree up. Spree gets D-macked. Not going to help things here for the Houston Outlaws. Houston need to come up with a kill quick to balance this out.
Final fight, Supercharger down. Point hits a giant barrier.
That's a big sound barrier. Yep, that's going to cover a lot here for the Houston Outlaws, except for Muma. This could very well be it, Hex. 2 kills for the Washington Justice. Houston Outlaws struggling to make it happen. At the very end, they may get overwhelmed. Washington keeping it together and continuing their streak in this 4th stage. All the kills going their way. Muma's back, squeaking his way into a quick death, and so is Linkser. He's gone. You've got Boink hanging out on the side. He's going to be the one trying to keep it alive here for his team, but that is going to be the end of it. And the Washington Justice win it in 5. 3-2 victory over the Houston Outlaws. Houston, they put up one hell of a fight, but it wasn't today.
The hope of a perfect stage still alive for the Washington Justice is a sentence I just said that happens to be true. This team struggled so mightily in the first 3 stages of the Overwatch League 2019 season. They made additions, they made subtractions, they made changes. The meta shifted, and now the Washington Justice looking to rebound, looking forward to next year. Houston Outlaws, they put up one heck of a fight. No dishonor there. And it looked like they had a little bit of fun doing it too, which is always good.
Yeah, they played it out pretty much as long as it could go. 3 points on the first control map, 3 points on the second one, going the distance, 99% all over the place. It could have gone either way, but today, the Washington Justice will collect the win. Stratus, he was even shouting, I can't believe it, we did it, we did it. You did, congratulations. You're at the bottom of the pack in terms of league standings. Right. This isn't getting you into the playoffs, but this still bodes well for the team.
But they're getting towards the top of the pack when it comes to power rankings, and for Houston to be able to hang with the team that a lot of people have, top 4, top 5 in the league in this current stage of the Overwatch League, it's pretty impressive on both sides. I was entertained.
Yeah, so was I, Hex. But now we're gonna head it over to Mika for a winner's interview with Corey.
So guys, I'm here with Corey and his shoeless feet here. Congratulations on the win. So we heard you on comms say during Hanamura that if you guys took this map, you were gonna carry your team through the next 2 maps. So how's your back feeling, buddy?
It's feeling pretty stable currently. Not so hot on the Widow, but on the other heroes, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You did a great job. And you guys are 2 matches away from a perfect stage. And this is a pressure that the Washington Justice hasn't actually felt before. So is it rattling you at all, or are you keeping a level head?
I'd say we're having a level head on it. Not really rattling for sure. We're just kind of going in each game, and if we get 7-0, we get 7-0.
All right, I like it. You guys are very confident, and you guys are very shoeless currently. But thank you, Corey, for coming and talking to us. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, congratulations, Corey, on the win, and I like it. I mean, right now, they are at the bottom of the pack. There shouldn't be any pressure. It should just be about figuring out how to get through this. And if you can end the stage 7-0, if you can clean sweep it, fantastic. But it's not the end of days if you don't do it.
They also get a match against Atlanta next week. And Atlanta's been playing really, really well, and I think they've come into their own on the stage. And so Washington would love to play spoiler because we have a lot of expansion teams this year, and I think you want to be the one who's knocking out the other expansion teams of like, oh, Atlanta, you think you're going to make, well, guess what? We'll see next year, buddy, but Washington v. Atlanta next week could be a banger.
That could be so sick. I know plenty of good Atlanta matches to get to as well. They've been on the up and up for sure. But let's take a look at our Owned by HP player of the match. And I'm happy about this one, Hex. Sansam. We've been focusing so much on the damage dealers, but the off-tank role, it's an important one, and Sansam, he excels today.
Corey and Stratus, I think they don't win the match of Hanamura without Sansam's play. I think he crushed it. He had a great opening bit here, and then he eats the Blizzard, which probably would have knocked him off the point. And then after his Diva plays to open up the series, he goes to the Roadhog. This flanking whole hog was enormous. It's the big difference why they won that fight. He had play after play. It wasn't these god-tier hook accuracies, although 62%. It's not a bad hook accuracy. A lot of I thought his ultimates were just way better than Spree's ultimates. He got a lot more value out of the whole hog, which is a difficult ultimate to get done on. And so played good Diva, played good Roadhog, and that's one of the big reasons why Washington was able to stay in a lot of fights and why they were able to win fights early on, just the pick potential that Samsung provided.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need to have the focus between the Roadhog and the Diva. If your player can handle work on both of them, you're just looking that much better. But guys, that's going to be it for us on Disney XD. We will be continuing to stream. We have 2 more matches coming at you today, live from the Overwatch League Arena here in Los Angeles. It's going to be on the ESPN app. It's going to be on Twitch. We're taking a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Did you see the game last night? Sinatra's gonna get MVP this year.
There's no way Sinatra wins MVP.
What are you talking about? Have you been watching the same
Bumper
game?
has been so clutch for the Titans, putting up insane numbers.
I think you're both wrong. Jonak, still the MVP. Also, first match starts in an hour. See you there.
The real MVP is the out of chat, Amon.